All right, it's good friends, good games. It is, what are we at? Oh, it's September 9th. It is Starfield weekend. Everyone, how are you all? I was making sure I hit the right button. Always blame Dell. Always blame Dell for the inappropriate conversations that happened.
Yeah,
before
blame
this
the
show.
Brit.
Yeah, because you're all
like
inappropriate.
we didn't do enough like shenanigans in the past.
Better than 2 weeks ago, that's for sure.
I forgot what happened 2 weeks ago.
Car accident.
Oh, yeah, we're in bed.
Shit,
I thought we talked about something 2 weeks ago. We weren't allowed to.
I'm sorry, Everis. I completely forgot about that.
It's okay.
No, I thought we talked about
about
something. I thought we talked about something completely inappropriate, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh yeah.
You asked how we're doing, or something like that. That's what I remember you saying. Maybe it's not what you said.
Right.
Erik is murdering everyone in chat.
Chat's. I'm just looking at chat right now, and chat's reacting to Zen's photo.
Well, let
I
me
can't
look at
have my face cam on, guys.
Yeah, he has low internet.
Yeah, that's why I started laughing.
Let me look at the chat.
I mean,
real quick.
The only thing we need to do is make another version, but as a farmer. That's all we gotta do. Farmer Zen a reality.
So yes, the chat is deadlocked right now. If you are listening in the audio world right now on your podcast listening choice, we appreciate you. But if you are watching live now on Twitch.tv or seeing this on YouTube, of course, you probably noticed that Zenith is not here live. He is audio only today. He's finishing up his new workspace, so we just got him on audio. But you get this lovely image of Farmer Zen down in the corner over here.
Poor Zen can't escape the poor Zen can't escape the farmer.
The farmer life is always there, never leaves.
He has dug himself a very large hole.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a farmer, so he can fill it.
He's got to go to the cornhole.
But it looks so real.
The cornhole.
What do you
I
say,
couldn't help
Bobby?
it.
The cornhole.
Gotta fill that cornhole daily.
Oh my god.
Anal.
Jesus.
What is this about YouTube? What was this about YouTube?
And then we wonder why we don't make any money on this godforsaken podcast.
Yay!
Yeah.
Broke life for life.
This will forever be passion project because we talk about poop, porn, and butt plugs.
Oh, hang on. We didn't mention anything about porn.
They all tie into the one into the other. You can watch one to get the other. There you go. Okay.
But not both.
Anyway. Some people do both.
God damn. Those
Okay,
kinky
anyway.
bastards.
Okay. Let's see here.
Sorry, chat.
If Chibi doesn't feel it, Chibi, we hope you feel better soon. Again, if you're watching us live right now, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here with us. All right. We've got Audio Zen down in the corner over there. We've got Dill. We've got Everis. We've got Morgan filling in today. Yeah, Morgan. All right.
We need to know the fourth video cam. That's her purpose.
Yeah.
To fill Zen's video cam void.
No, I had that. Oh my god! I'm not going to say what I was just about to say there.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
We should have put like just Morgan's webcam there, but have it be Zena's voice.
Yes, that would have been awesome.
That would be funny. And then, like, that would have been even funnier if, like, I could lip sync what he was saying if I knew what he was going to say in advance.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, it sounds so masculine.
Guys, I'm transitioning right now. Don't mind me. We support you, Morgan. Or
Thank
Zenith,
you.
whichever way you're flipping.
Morgan.
I've always wanted to support someone like a good bra.
Oh.
Jesus.
Damn, is that a nice little pickup line? I hear the Riz.
Why do I feel like he's used that before?
He probably has.
You used that before, haven't you, Zenith?
No.
But now he will.
No.
That came out way too clean to not have been used before. You know what I mean?
No. It's just my... I've been losing
Like it was a
my
joke
mind.
out the back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I've been losing my mind for the past week, so my wit has been extra sharp lately.
Okay,
Ooh,
okay.
okay. Mm.
So I losing her mind. So like, yeah, I worked late last night, almost till like 11 or like almost till midnight last night. I think I clocked out at 11:30 and fell asleep. Keep in mind I started at 8 a.m. yesterday.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it was a long day. And then I got this lovely phone call that was like, you guys ever have a boss
Well,
and
yeah.
they call you on the phone and they ask you with the most sympathetic voice and then they just start off the phone call with, I'm gonna need you.
How long do you think it took him to pick up the phone to call you before he made that call? I always wonder if they're actually being sympathetic or they're just playing off like they are.
So
Like, do you think he was just like staring at his phone like, oh God, I don't want to do this. I have to fucking call Erik.
So so for those of you that don't know, especially like, in the chat or, if you listen to this, I've been working at the same company for like 8 years, but I recently changed to a different department. Like I got a promotion and went to a different department within, my division of the company, IT. So I've worked with this gentleman before for, the 8 years I've been there, but now he's my boss because I changed departments.
Oh, okay.
So I know him pretty well. And I will say,
Do you like him though?
yes, I like.
Oh no! Oh,
No.
I'm legally contracted to say yes.
legally contracted to say yes.
Let me check the Patreon in here right now. Yes, I like him very, very much.
Yeah, he's a swell person.
Yeah,
I don't have
okay.
nothing bad to say.
All truth be told, he's a good guy. He's very supportive. He's, I feel like he has our back when we have issues and stuff like that. I would call him a good boss. He's a good boss. So knowing him and how he is and how he works or whatever, we have a team of several people, and I think it's more like he sat there, to answer your question, Everis. I think he sat there and he was kind of like, okay, which one of these can I use instead of Erik?
Oh.
And
Nobody else could fill the void.
Oh,
they could fill the void, but it comes down to like, because I'm not saying this to toot my own horn or anything, but for the most part, I've been there the longest. I understand the processes and everything the most because I've been there the longest, next to my boss and maybe one other colleague that's, doing a whole different thing, higher tier than me. So he kind of looked at it, he's like, okay, who can I actually use? And I think he came down to just like, okay, to do this the most efficient way possible and to have the least amount of headaches and get stuff resolved the quickest, I'm going to have to call Erik. I feel like this is how it went down in his head.
okay.
So he gives me that phone call and he's like, Erik, I need you. And I'm like, what do you need? And he's like, I'm going to need you to start at 8 a.m. Eastern time on Monday.
No.
On Monday.
That's what, 5 a.m. for you?
That is 5
Yeah.
a.m. for me.
No.
Jesus.
Ooh.
Because, like I said, we're in a very sensitive situation right now where it's basically going to be like potentially hell on earth because I can't divulge too much, but basically it'll be hell on earth because a whole new group of people will be joining our company and then their processes will be different and they will not be accustomed to things. And there's going to be a lot of like, why is this not working? Has that not working? Yada, 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 yada.
Josh
So-
had to
Transition
do
period.
something like that because
Yeah.
he does IT as well. And he has to do like field work before working hours.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's not Eastern hours, it ends up being like Eastern hours because you have to go in before they get into the office or whatever. So he
Correct.
had to get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning and drive about 30 minutes out and then start work. It sucks.
Yeah,
That
no,
sucks.
yeah, because basically, like that happens a lot with office moves. Like you move an office, or you bring a company. You've purchased a company, you bring them into your office, and like you have to set up workstations, all that stuff. So like, we pray every time. I don't do them much anymore. I don't go out to the offices and do the moves anymore. But like we would pray. We would like go up to their office manager and we'd be like, "When's the first person get in?" Because it'll literally be like 1 a.m. on Sunday night. Or like, when's the first person get in? And they'll be like, oh, they're in at 6:30. And we're like dropping our heads all like in depression at the same exact time. So we're like, God damn it. Because we have to be there at 6:30. They're the first person. Whatever questions they have, whatever, they need to be fielded and yada, yada, yada. It's hard. It's hard work. And I was like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, bro, you so owe me at bonus time. It's not even funny.
Oh, you do. Oh, you will. You will do. Absolutely.
And he's like, no, I know. I'll take. I was like, I know what I signed up for, dude. I'm playing with you, kind of. But like, yeah. So it's like it's been a busy week, and I'm not on fumes, but like I can feel like I'm getting to fumes, but we'll be okay. We will survive.
We'll try.
But
We'll try and make it short and sweet then for you today, Eric.
Nah, this podcast can go until like fucking 7 p.m. here.
yeah, I'm surprised
That's
it
like
hasn't
midnight
yet.
to me.
I'm surprised it hasn't yet. Everis is the one that has to stop us. She's like, yo, it's time.
Yeah, true. We do go on quite a lot.
It's a really nice day. Like it's a really, really nice day outside.
I have a
And
life, guys.
We really nice day.
Don't rub
And,
it
like,
in there for us.
It's
Don't hold back, Everis.
the thing about like Eastern Washington is that we don't really get fall. We get summer, we get winter.
Oh, really?
And we get more winter than we get summer. So like there's this like 2-week transition period between like summer ending and winter beginning. Like two or 3 years ago, we got like 9 inches of snow in October.
Oof.
And I was like, no. So, there isn't that really nice, like, there isn't a ton of that really nice, like, 70-degree weather, cold nights, warm afternoons before, bang, winter hits, and it's freaking like 30, 40 degrees every day. So,
Okay. So it's
like,
a nice
days like
day
these,
outside.
it's like, ah,
It's a nice day
it's
outside.
a nice day.
So if we let you out of class early, what do you plan on doing?
Ice cream.
Oh,
That
don't
does
say
sound
ice
really
cream. I'm getting a
good.
craving for ice cream. Dude,
Ice cream.
I can't have
Ice cream.
this.
That
I had
sounds-
a ice cream earlier.
That sounds really nice. I don't know. Like, there's only it's supposed to be about 82 today, which is really nice. And I want to take out my paddleboard one more time before.
I will allow this.
Ooh.
This.
Are you serious? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Allow what? What? How early is early?
Everest takes. We'll be reasonable with our showtime today here.
We'll try.
Okay, so I don't want to rush everything and just be like, yeah, they'll go. Okay, good, great, thanks.
No. Well, let's just see the flow, how the flow
Okay.
goes.
Let's see the
flow
here.
will go.
I don't
Okay.
want you to be like intentionally in your heads being like, okay, how can I condense what I'm about to say?
That's fine
can't do
because you're
that.
going to be in at 5 a.m. on Monday. I didn't tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you.
You're an early.
Did you just tell me to fuck myself?
Everyone's gonna swear.
Wow. How long do you think it took Eric to
can't
think
even
about for
remember-
making that call?
I can't even remember the last time. I think the last time I woke up at 5 a.m. for something was like, we are going to hit a flight. Like my job is so flexible because I work on massage time. Who wants a massage at 5 a.m? Nobody. Well, my 5 a.m. is like your 3 p.m. So you're about right there.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, it is.
So
But-
I don't want one at 5 a.m, but I need one at 5 a.m.
That's
when I get
fair.
up. Yeah.
That's fair.
It's like get up. Oh shit! I pulled something.
Yeah. There's
No,
massages.
not that kind of massage. Not that.
Oh,
Jesus
cheapy.
Not that.
God damn. What kind of massages are you having? Ooh.
There's only one person that gets that.
I don't know what that
That's
was.
for another day.
Oh.
I don't know if someone
Hi,
knocked
Josh.
at my door or something.
What?
I feel like
Oh.
someone knocked at my door, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh. Anyway, let's just let the conversation be what will be will be. It's fine.
Okay. Anywho, okay. So, Dill, what did you do over the time off there? What did you do over the 2-week break?
survived the heat.
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad over there. You said.
Literally from Monday to now, it's been like 25 to 30 degrees Celsius weather, basically, and the humidity has been like terrible. So I've actually turned my fan off because I didn't want it to get caught up in the microphone. So I'm gonna start. If I look like I get extra shiny, that's why.
I hate humidity, dude. I can handle
Yeah.
heat when it's just dry. So like if it's 100 degree like in the desert, I will survive, right? But if it's
Yeah.
like 80 and humid, I will whine like a child. I will cry.
Yeah, I've been working in this as well, so like I have to wear like jeans and a shirt in this.
Ugh.
Yeah, not nice. Luckily, it's gonna start raining finally tomorrow,
I
and
was
then
dying.
thunderstorms will hit.
I was dying when Pal and I went to Hannah and Dustin's wedding.
Oh, Florida.
just, like,
Florida
dying,
humidity.
It was like all
gosh.
nice on the plane. You know, like, okay, so some of you may not like plane flights. Some of you do, whatever. But like what I like about the plane flight is that nice, like chill air conditioning. And you're kind of just
Oh
like,
yeah,
all
it's
like,
nice. You can just turn
relax.
it on from the top as well. You're just like, that's quite nice.
And then like, I'm like, yeah, this is nice. Right. And I'm just sitting there chilling. And then there's like, all right, let's get off the plane. You know, you're like, oh, I've been sitting here for a
Yeah.
while. But like, then you get off the plane and then it was literally just like a sauna as soon as I got off the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is miserable.
That's kind of how I felt when I arrived in LA, because like it was nice and air cooled, and it was during like peak heat time, I think, in LA when I went there, and then it hit me, and I was like, God damn, where did this come from?
I probably could not survive Southeast Asia most of the year. Probably not. Probably
Mallorca's pretty bad as well. Mallorca, I went to there too, and it would hit me like a truck there.
Ugh.
Like night times are hot in Mallorca.
Sheesh. I don't know. I can't do it. So, okay, you've been surviving the heat. What else you got going on?
As I mentioned to you in private conversation and everything like that, I'm going away next weekend as well. So
Yeah.
I'll be doing some actual traveling.
Oh, where are we headed? If you're
London.
allowed to talk about. Nice.
Yeah. I'm going to London with a friend.
Ooh,
Okay.
London, Ontario, Canada.
No, it's not Zen, by the way.
Oh, I was going to be jealous.
No, I didn't even know there was a London in freaking Canada.
Yeah, it's actually a big city here, close to Toronto.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. But no, London, England.
A wild Leshki appeared in the chat here. She wants to know if you're going to watch football.
No, I'm not into football, so I don't care.
Okay.
Sorry, Leshki. I'm going because I'm going to this orchestra concerts where they're playing classic Sonic music via orchestra, and there's going to be like legendary composers of Sonic music as well there too, and everything. Basically,
okay.
my friend's like a massive Sonic fan, and I'm a Sonic fan as well.
Is your friend Morgan?
I mean, she is a friend, yes.
Oh,
Oh, are you guys going together? I'm jealous.
She'd be invited
That's
if she
not
could
fun,
afford to. Yeah. But yeah, she's a big fan of Sonic, so she wanted to go, and then she just like messaged me about it, and I was like, why don't we go together? And so we've had this been planned for like the last 3 months basically, and now we're going to go next weekend, so it's going to be fun. And then we'll also get to travel around in London, because it's my like 4th time going to London and her first
Like ever?
ever.
Okay. This
Yeah.
might be an inappropriate question, but like how far is London from you?
It's a 2.5 hour train ride.
That's nothing.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
I would go to London all the time. I know London's
Well,
expensive, but
The thing is, the ticket prices are quite expensive, so a lot of people tend to go by coach instead, and coach is like 5.5 hours.
Oh.
But it's like 4 times less the price of a ticket
train?
than a train. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Not to mention trains these days in the UK are hella unreliable. Like they are
no.
so unreliable these days with like strikes
Now,
and with
are
everything
you
going
talking
on.
about within the UK? Like,
Within
okay,
the
so
UK.
I've taken trains in like Italy, and that was like some of the best transportation
there's a lot of strikes going on right now. I see on the network railway system, which is causing disruptions basically, and that's why. Pretty much.
Is that like an ongoing thing, or is that something that's progressed over the last year?
It's an ongoing thing until the government finally settle with the strikers, basically.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
And then you don't know who they're getting to like conduct these things while you're going now. It could be just some dude off the street. Yeah, I could do it.
So that's why we opted to go for Coach instead, because Coach was longer but more reliable than going by bus, and a bit cheaper as well. All it means is I have to get up at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, San Diego's about 3 hours away from me, train ride wise. So like Pow and I, when we went to TwitchCon in San Diego, we took the train down there. We just went from LA to San Diego, took the train. Sometimes we have a San Diego office and I have to go do work down there. I'll just take the train, business class.
That'd be so relaxing.
It's nice. If I don't have to do anything like before or after the thing, like if I have no prep work or anything to do, I'll just sit there and like play a Switch, Steam Deck or whatever, and just chill on the train. And then
I think that's my plan. I'm just bringing my Switch with me, and we're going to play probably like Mario Party or something like that, and Mario Kart, and just chill until we get there.
So this concert thing. So I'm driving through Hollywood, and I'm complaining about the traffic as usual, right?
That sounds about right.
And I go up through this road, and I'm passing the Hollywood Bowl. If you don't know what the Hollywood Bowl is, it's a very, very popular like concert venue in Hollywood, and they do like outdoor concerts there basically. And like I'm just gridlocked in this traffic because for whatever reason Google was on its shit today and took me that route. I don't know what the hell it was thinking. So I'm like sitting there in deadlock traffic, and I'm like bitching to Pal on the phone. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I don't know what the hell is going on. They need to move this shit. Like I'm just in rage mode, right? And then I'm like looking at all these like nerdy looking dudes and their girlfriends like walking up the hillside to go to the bowl. And I'm like, look at these fucking nerds. Who's possibly playing tonight, right? And then I'm like sitting in traffic. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look at the calendar. I look at the Hollywood Bowl calendar and I drop my jaw and I'm pissed off at myself because it is literally like a symphony orchestra playing Star Wars.
Ooh.
Like,
You've never done that before?
I've never done one of those.
You absolutely should. I've seen The Fellowship of the Ring, which was amazing, incredible. They had like a choir and everything. And then I've seen The Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay.
It's really cool. And it's crazy because they're supposed to be, right? They're supposed to be spot on, but it's like you can see it all in front of you while the movie is playing. Oh, it was so cool. You absolutely have to do it.
Yeah, I was so upset. I was like, I would have gone. I would have been one of these nerds on the side of the road walking up the hillside to go see this. Like, why did I not do this? And
Eric, did you just call them a nerd?
Yeah.
Nerd.
That's like me calling another Hispanic dude a Hispanic surname. Like, I mean, it's like they're my brethren, so it's okay.
But you almost said it like a derogatory way. Look at these nerds.
I'm one too. I say derogatory shit to myself all the time. I called myself a fucking idiot yesterday.
I'm just saying I feel attacked, Eric.
You feel attacked?
I feel so attacked right now.
If it means anything, Everis, I don't think at first glance you would qualify as nerd. You don't look it.
I'm the nerd in the shadows.
Your Jim Bunny vibe has, taken you out of nerd.
That's a newer progression.
That's a new persona, right? But it slowly segued you out of nerd category. Like no one, I don't think you'd go down the street, and so you'd be like, oh, what a fucking nerd that girl is. No, it wouldn't be a thing.
No.
Exactly.
I've never, but then again, even before I started working out and going to the gym, I would still dress pretty like, I wouldn't like, I don't know. It's weird because I do really want to get into cosplays. Like I really do want to do that. Like go down that avenue.
I would.
It would be so freaking fun.
I feel like it's one of those things I missed. I like but then again, like I was a big dude, right? Like I was a literal fat ass. Like I'm like, who am I going to cosplay as? Like E Honda from Street Fighter. Like that's about all I could pull off. This, like
no, you can pull off quite a few. I really pull off quite a few, honestly.
Yeah, let's just sleeper nerds. That's a good term.
Bill from The Last of Us. Is that about as good as I'm gonna get? But
I'm trying to think. There's a lot of good ones. But it depends on your genre, you know?
But I'm slowly, like Everis just said here, sleeper nerd. I'm slowly kind of starting to segue into sleeper nerd. Like all these collectibles and stuff sitting on the shelf back here, I'm slowly kind of going to start paring it all down.
Okay.
And then start like taking it and getting things like comic books and stuff like that, like collectible high-end comic books, and just kind of have it like displayed kind of like in an office kind of thing. I think I'm going to go sleeper nerd.
Okay.
It's interesting because if you like at first glance look at our apartment, it's like, oh, it's a normal apartment, but you look again and it's like, oh, those movie posters on the wall, that's Zelda, that's Witcher, that's Lord of the Rings, you know. And I've got like a blue shell from Mario Kart, like a plush pillow. I've got just like little things in the apartment that's like, oh, okay, you're a nerd. But at the same time, you also walk in the apartment and you see this double monitor with the really fancy white PC
I don't think that's
build.
like,
and
I don't think that's
it's
nerd
pretty
though. Like you could
pretty
just be
unmistakable.
you could just be a person with a killer computer rig, right? Like that's your thing, right? But like I literally have, I don't think you can see them up here, but there's literally a stack of like Ghostbusters toys and Ninja Turtle toys like sitting on the top of this bookshelf here, and I've started to get things because I used to collect all this stuff all the time if I see it. Now I'm starting to get things that kind of just remind me of when I was a kid. Like they'll reissue figures from the 80s or whatever, and then I'll go grab them because they remind me of when I was a kid because the packaging was the same and everything. So like I will gravitate towards that type of stuff. But a lot of it, like I'm thinking of just paring down. Like these pop vinyl things, I don't know how I got into these pop vinyl things, but they started showing up on my bookshelf. You know,
They just suddenly appeared out of nowhere, and now suddenly I can't stop myself.
it's a bad addiction. You get one, and then they multiply.
For the
Oh,
record,
no.
I have zero judgment for people who display their crap out.
Oh,
I have
no,
zero
not at all.
judgment whatsoever. My issue with it is dust.
Ugh.
The dust
Yeah.
level is like next level. And that's why I'm like, I like limit it because then there's less dust to clean up.
I
So
get
that's why
that.
OCD coming out. I get it, whatever. But like, that's just like, I don't
My
know.
thing
I
is
don't have any
space.
words.
Like it just started
Yeah.
multiplying and taking up space, and then it turns into this like I need another bookshelf. Like oh god, where am I going to put
Oh,
this
no,
next
it's-
bookshelf? You know, and I'm just like I can't do this. I have to start paring stuff down and like
I don't know if you can see my little like desk right here. All of this, by the way, I've not bought. It's been given to me. Like I've got all this stuff like
Your
right
friends
there.
know you. Your
They
friends
know
know
me.
you.
They know me, and they know I like this stuff, and then they got me this stuff, and now this entire section is full, and I probably need a bigger one.
I just realized Zenith could be asleep right now and we wouldn't even know.
I know.
That's the best
taken a
part about
long time.
baby.
Do I do the power of the soundboard to wake him up?
I've almost been tempted to like make a coffee while you guys are going on.
You could do it, right, too.
I'm telling you, there's, I am betting on 75%. I'm 75% sure that he's naked.
He
No,
said
he's not. I'm
boxers.
actually
He
wearing
said boxers, but I think he's naked too.
I think he's wearing a
Don't
onesie.
make me take a screenshot of what I actually look like right now.
Oh, we got a screenshot of boxes.
Only if you're wearing boxers, okay? I don't want to see your tiny
Yeah.
whities because that's just
That's
a
for-
whole.
Just
That's
the only
for a
thing is I
different
haven't
website.
shaved. I haven't shaved because like
Nobody-
there's just no reason, and I don't have my ring light set
Oh,
up.
we got
Isn't it
Grizzlies
cooler?
then.
Isn't it cooler to shave?
Huh?
Like, it wouldn't be as miserable if you shaved
Are we talking the face or are we talking somewhere else?
the face, Bubba.
Oh,
I was
speaking of
about to
shave.
say.
Speaking of shave, we're going for it again. We're going to see what happens. We are being much more like maintenance of it about it this time. I'm just not going all like Osama bin Erik on it and just letting it grow. I'm going to trim it and maintain it and see where it goes.
When was the last time that you grew it out?
Pandemic. So
How long did it go?
it was pretty bad. It was pretty much too like it was longer than like the chin was longer and then like it went the whole way around. It was pretty bad.
It
It was pretty bad. And then my whole plan was like, oh, I'll just trim it down once I shape it and everything, you know? It's like a chia pet. You grow the shit out of the chia pet and then you trim it down.
Yeah.
And
You
then
don't use any oils or anything like that on it? Like,
I
you
did
do not
finally
do, like,
pick
some-
up some. I picked up some like cream, like those beard creams
Okay.
or whatever, to kind of
Alright.
soften because it does itch. Like
Chia.
yeah,
Yeah, you have to you have to moisturize all that.
yeah. I don't know. I'm
Moisturize,
just like
moisturize.
we'll see what happens.
Condition.
If it doesn't work, then I'm not opposed to it. Then I know that I will forever be restricted to here.
See, I posted my picture in live chat.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh,
Am I
God.
allowed to
I
show this
didn't,
on
like-
stream?
You're welcome to, but
I don't see a difference.
Oh my! I don't know why you look kind of different like that. Maybe it's because your
Did you
hair.
I
ever
don't have my ring lights on.
No,
Oh,
your
okay.
hair looks different.
I haven't
Yeah.
bothered
Oh, he
putting
didn't comb
anything
it.
in my
He
hair.
hasn't
You
styled
didn't put
it.
product in it.
Yeah, he didn't comb
Nobody's
it.
looking at me.
You don't
Yeah,
look
how
much
would you just kind
different,
of part
Tom.
your hair like that?
Let me look homeless all I want, okay?
You don't look
Yeah.
homeless.
Fine.
I
You
look
don't look-
homeless.
No, you,
look
don't.
fine.
He
Homeless
looks
Zen looks
fine.
good, all right. I
look
like
like
it.
someone that. I look like the creature they keep in your basement, okay?
Like that your mouthwash is on your shelf.
He's got moonshine and mouthwash.
Yes.
Like
What brand of mouthwash is that?
Hold on.
should I make this the episode
Thorough breath.
image?
No, dude, hate you. Don't do that.
Okay,
Zen's
so
already
let's
had
see.
a bad enough week.
We're not gonna show his photo, obviously, but
No. It's
he
private
does have
to
some.
us.
He does have
Only
looks like
us.
some moonshine up here next to the mouthwash, and then I
No,
mean,
that's
he is a
actually
man.
my. That's my little jar of sugar.
Okay, he's
'Cause,
a
like,
man
I
of
actually-
skincare.
Oh,
Sugar. Is that what
okay.
they call it now?
Yeah.
The good old sugar.
Yeah, just keep my sugar in like a little jar,
Mason
and it's
jar,
nice.
Okay.
And I actually make my coffee in the room. I have my kettle right here, so like,
okay.
so like,
You have a bedroom coffee machine?
yeah. So like, even if I
Aw.
snuck off to make a coffee, you guys would be like, "What the fuck is that sound?" So like, someone's using the toilet.
Oh, that was so funny.
He does have some. He does have a skincare regimen. I see a Bath and Body Works bag here, along with some.
You
know,
want to know
skincare
what was
products.
actually in there? One of the things I was so excited about was getting my own foam hand soap.
Oh.
I live for foam hand soaps. They're so nice. So
They
I got
really are.
one. So I got one that smells like summer up in the cottage.
Okay.
And the one,
Is that what the title of the? Is that what
That's-
the name of the?
What is it?
soap
That sounds
is?
British.
Yeah, and then the other
Summer in
one
the cottage?
is supposed to be some like fall leaves fireplace or something like that.
I have okay.
What?
So, Zenith thing is foam hand soaps. Okay. What are your guilty pleasure things that you guys like to purchase? What are the things you splurge on in terms of on yourself? Like,
Computer parts?
no, not that. We're talking
Weird things.
no, not necessarily
Wow.
high things, but hygiene, or it could be food or
Oh,
whatever.
hygiene.
Like,
Are you limited to hygiene?
so Zenith obviously has a thing for he's admitted he has a thing for fancy hand soaps. So
Okay.
I'm not picky when it comes to hand soaps or body wash. If it works, it works.
okay. See, I'm a body wash person. I will pick up nicer
Okay.
body washes. I don't the
I
cheapest I go is Nivea, and that's $4 a bottle. That's the cheapest one I've got.
Uh,
But I don't use
I
that
get
Dollar Tree
what-
shit.
I use whatever I get for Christmas until it runs out, and then I just buy a big bottle of stuff until Christmas, the next Christmas.
I've started to notice things like shaving creams and stuff like that, and stuff to wash your face, men's face washes and stuff like that really do make a difference in terms of your overall your overall self health. You know what I mean?
I have this. The
men's stuff is not bad.
Nivea for
Bottom work.
Men face balm once I shave, so I put that, bit
Okay.
of that on myself and do that every once in a while just to cool it down because it does get
Little
quite,
pipette.
All right, how about the ladies? What are the ladies splurge
We've
things on
talked.
them?
We've talked about this before.
Have we?
Yeah, we've talked about this before. It was one of the
Remind-
first
Okay,
episodes I was on here. We're talking about how much I love skincare.
Oh yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so
And then
remind
you
us
like
then.
the Asian. You've been getting into the Asian.
I'm into like the Korean skincare
yeah,
stuff.
I remember that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we'll skip that because that you've got Asian skincare,
Morgan?
Korean skincare. Morgan, what is your guilty or what is your splurge on yourself?
So I have I use Bath and Body Works for like body wash. And for like my skincare, I mostly have a lot of like leftover, well, I shouldn't say leftover because they're actually brand new. Lancome skincare because I've had it for quite a while. So like I've got quite a bit of it I have to use before I can even get new stuff.
Nice, nice. Okay.
My attitude to body washes: use them until they're gone, and then get a big bottle of it.
Do you notice that like when you have like a full bottle, you use way more, but when you're down to like the last 10%,
Yeah,
you
you're
just
like-
like a dime
I'm-
size. Like
I'm like that with toothpaste. I will use it into its last little bit, and then I'll get a new one.
I should do the same thing.
Yeah, just like roll it. Do
squeeze
you do
light
the
on
roll it? Like, do you roll it down?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Squeeze it, squeeze. Yeah, you go. That's it.
Nice. Yeah. So I started doing like body washes. Like, once you buy like good body wash, you're like, oh, this is nice. You know, colognes. Like, I tend to spend more on colognes. Like, once you get
With
out of
body
that, like,
washes, also, I've started actually using the sponge as well, rather than just use my hands.
okay.
Yeah,
The loofah.
because well, it's got like a loofah side, which is a bit more rougher, so it can get into the skin.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
get the soft, spongy side for just to get the suds going, right? It's good stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right.
men, we need to like normalize men's skincare.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Manscaped's for?
No, manscaping
that's
is not the
male
same as
grooming.
I thought
skincare.
that was like shaving
I was
your
talking-
garage or something.
I was
Yes,
talking about-
normalize. Everyone here, it's normal for you to that everyone here on this podcast shaves their balls.
Yes.
Thanks, Dill.
Sponsored by Manscaped.
Morgan, you need to shave your balls more. Don't laugh.
Men's skincare should 100% be normalized. Like they should put product on their face, you know, a nice face cleanser, that kind of thing.
It
like,
does make a difference, especially as you get older. When your skin's not as like resilient when you're older, it does make a difference.
The only thing I do with my skin is that I use hot water from the shower, and I just do that with my hands, and that's really it. And it gets out a lot of pores.
You know that like hot water makes your skin drier.
Probably.
All right, so I'll drop a little ditty here that Eric's discovered, right? That you would think is what the fuck are you doing, right? So my girlfriend showed me that little strip thing that you put over your nose to get the blackheads.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I cannot let those things down now. I was
Oh,
like,
no.
grab me a box too, and I was like, and like it makes a difference,
Damn.
dude.
Are those
Is
the
it-
ones for like breathing or pores?
No, it's like a little. It's like a. It's a strip you put on your nose, and when it gets water on it, it hardens and it pulls off all the like little pores in your or the little
Yeah,
clogged pores
So
on your nose.
so it's for pores. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for
Okay.
pores.
Yeah.
But you do feel
Alright.
this like overwhelming like freshness there when you pull that thing, dude. Like stuff breathes. Before we get into the Starfield talk here, Morgan, how was your time or your break or since the last time you've been on? What have you been up to?
I have. Well, do we talk about games now at this point that we've been playing?
Have you just been playing games? Or did you do anything
Yeah,
outside? Did you go
basically.
touch grass basically?
Ooh. Grass, I like grass.
Well, I mean, when I get sick of like looking at my room, I'll actually go outside on like the front porch for a little bit
oh,
sometimes.
Morgan,
You're a hermit.
I haven't.
Sometimes.
you're really reaching for the stars here.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing is that I actually
Sometimes.
used to go out like 4 days out of the week or something, like before, like this is like pre-COVID. Ever since COVID, I just stay home. I
This
don't
is my
go
life
now.
anywhere. Yeah, this is my life now. This is my cell.
Yeah.
Pow and I went to it's called the Huntington Library. And I guess the Huntingtons were this, they come from a family line of like railroad tycoons. So they were basically in the same class of like your your Vanderbilts and stuff like, the families that built America with their wealth, the steel tycoons and all that stuff, right? So these guys were railroad tycoons. And this guy inherited like upwards of $1 billion in today's money. And what he did with it is he built this library. And it's literally, I think the lady at the library told me they have about 7 miles worth of books in shelves underground. And this guy built this library, and the library's intention is for researchers and people of those historians, etc. They can come and do all this research and look at all these rare books and documents and all this kind of stuff. And his intentions for the library were to enrich like the education community. So it could he could enrich these people's lives and help further their education and their research and all this kind of stuff. It's a beautiful place. It's like one of those old, huge, like colonial homes.
Okay.
And they've converted it into like museums. So they have like European art, American art, and then around it, there's all these different gardens. So they built like a Chinese garden. They have an Australian garden, a desert garden, all these different types of gardens that surround the library. It's a truly beautiful place. If you're ever in California, it's in Pasadena, and it's incredibly beautiful library. And it's just like, it's more like a museum now, but it's massive. And there's just like stuff. I saw a Gutenberg Bible. If you don't know what a Gutenberg Bible is, Gutenberg, the dude that invented the printing press, the first book he printed was the Bible. And they printed like 40 of them. And this guy had one, and it's on display in this library.
Wow.
Cool.
So it's like one of the first printed Bibles ever. It's insane.
Where's the museum?
It's in Pasadena, California. So just maybe 20 minutes out of LA.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. Beautiful library. And it's cheap too. It's like a $25 day. It's not really expensive at all. And then they have like, cafes and stuff so you can chill like on the garden and stuff. We saw like koi in the Chinese Japanese garden. They have koi fish swimming in the waters and stuff.
Ooh, that's cool.
Did the library have that really nice old book smell?
Not quite. Because not quite. Because a lot of the stuff is actually like behind safes and hidden away.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I did get a haircut. Thank you. They're complimenting my haircut. I'm styling it.
Yay.
So
Eric,
yeah.
did you get a haircut?
Yeah, I got a haircut.
Hey, did you get a haircut?
A haircut?
Yeah, haircut, Eric.
Eric cut. An Eric cut.
Eric.
Then that was
Yeah,
bad. I should feel bad.
That was bad, right? That's the title of the episode. Eat it.
Eat it.
Just eat it.
No. But yeah, it's a beautiful place.
I saw again. I follow Pal, so I saw your little garden pictures, and that looked so nice. That was really cool.
Actually, if you do, because you said you were going to do your run down this way, right? Like as you make your way towards Vegas.
No, not California. No.
Okay, so you're skipping California entirely, and you're kind of like going around to Nevada.
We're flying into Arizona.
Okay.
And then we're driving and then actually I think Josh said you're just gonna skip that drive and just fly. Because it's like $45.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's really cheap to fly from Phoenix to Vegas.
Okay. If you do make it over here, like just message Pal and I. We'll all go. Like it's literally very beautiful and serene. You can spend a whole day there.
Oh.
Bring Josh and everything.
Believe me, I would love to.
Yeah, just bring Josh, and then you guys have a nice little double date thing going on, and then
I half wish California was on the radar for potential places to live, but it's just so out of our. Out of everyone's budget, really. But he cares a lot more about like I could do with like a small house just to be able to live under the California sun, but he, I think he is more interested in like better real estate, I guess.
He wants more bang for the buck, and that's completely understandable and reasonable, and I don't blame them. If you're not already here and like locked in, it's very, very difficult to come here unless you have the money. That's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like, God, if I leave, I'll never be able to come back. I feel like sometimes, unless I like, become a railroad tycoon and like take over the world.
You never know.
I think that's what stopped me from moving to California also, because I was when I was trying to pursue voice acting and game design, I actually did consider going to California at some point, but San Francisco and LA are so expensive,
Yeah,
so
they
I
are.
wouldn't have been able to afford it.
And you
Yeah.
know, like if any of you guys do make, Zenith, Dill, Everis, Morgan, yourself, if you ever do make it to California and you are in the region, just hit up me or Pow. Like never be
literally
like,
the first. Eric, the first thing that I'm gonna do when I go to California again is hit you both up.
yeah, just call, like, yeah, that goes to any, anyone that's involved in this group here. Like if you are there, just hit me up, hit Pow and I up, and be like, yo, we're in town, we're looking for someplace cool, and then like Pow and I will make it happen.
I will
Yeah, I
literally
would-
move into your bathroom at this
Oh,
point.
I already did that for like a week.
Yeah, I think I could bunk bed it here. I think we could bunk bed it. So just raise it up,
We
but like,
can spoon, can't we? Just like one end to the head to toe.
yeah, but never be afraid to be like, yo, we're in town. What do you guys got going on? And we will straight up be like, yo, let's go. Huntington
That's
Live
part of the
let's do-
reason. That's part of the reason we want to live in the Vegas area because
it's not far.
It's
Yeah.
like 3 hours, 3.5-ish hours, and that's
Two if
like,
you know how to drive.
That's totally a day trip.
Yeah, it's easy.
Easily.
Yeah.
And so that would be a lot nicer than the 5 hours from the Phoenix area. So,
And there's like no way for and then like you're up in the Pacific Northwest, so it's like no way, like really, there's no like train that'll get Pow and I up there like in a reasonable time frame, Like
Yeah.
if you were like at the top of California or down by San Diego, like we get up there in like 3 hours or back, in a few hours.
even the flights from Vegas to California are only about like
Yeah.
$50 to $70.
Yeah, and it's stupid. Yeah,
That's
and
like
it's
that's like gas.
it's 45 minutes in the air too.
Gas,
Yeah,
gas.
it's easy.
So yeah, you guys are always welcome. Just hit up Power myself, and you are always welcome.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a big release this week. Big release this
release.
week.
Big release.
We are at the hour mark here. Would you like to all take a break before we get into Starfield, or do you think you're good to go now? Feel free to.
I probably should get myself some coffee because I wasn't even thinking I'd be on the podcast today.
We
So
need
I
to
didn't
wake him
prepare.
up.
Wake him up.
Happy
All
that
right.
you're here, though.
We'll go ahead and we'll take a quick break. This is Good Friend, Good Games, and we'll be back shortly. And we're back. All right. So we all had productive time. Everis is looking outside, ready to get on the paddleboard.
Time to leave.
She's going to go hit the surf
I
today.
don't want you to think that. I don't want you to get the impression that like
Tick tock, tick tock. What would it be?
that's not how I feel right now.
Girl,
how I feel
you
right
have
now is like this is the
dedicated-
best social hour I've had in a long time.
Girl,
so
you've dedicated. How many episodes is it with you now?
you asked me a question, I answered it. That's all I'm saying.
No, you have how many episodes with us now?
Yeah.
10.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
5 something. No, I just made that number up. I don't know,
12.
I feel
but
like it's been,
probably
like,
somewhere close to
10-ish.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've dedicated roughly 30 to 35 hours of your weekend time here. If you wanted to go paddleboard today, I would be like, you know what? You can go
Here's a little
paddleboard.
break. Go on. Do it.
And it's like, it's not a big deal. No, I'm just, no, but we have to behave and do more reasonable time frames anyway. Sometimes we're here all day. So
all night for my
I don't
case.
want you to think I'm like Everis is cutting this whole shit short. No, that is not the case.
I want this conversation to go organically. I don't want anyone to think that they have to not say anything because Everest has to go on our paddleboard. That's all I'm saying.
Zenith, hurry the hell up. Everis is waiting.
Everest has got to get on that paddleboard, chat. Sorry, I got to cut this short.
I will remove
Time is ticking.
50% of my vowels for my words from here on out.
Oh, they said vowels.
That's like another level of like pig Latin.
Wow.
Yep.
That would be really
Yeah.
hard.
A new language has been invented
Yeah.
here.
Starfield, good
Gabe.
I've thought about
fly,
that,
space,
Dragonfly.
good cargo.
I've thought about that. So Dragonfly says live from Ev's paddleboard, and I've thought about getting like a GoPro and putting it on the front of the paddleboard and just having like Ev's paddleboard adventures.
Is paddleboarding
That'd be
the one
cool.
where you're like standing on it and you're doing like the boat or the oar thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh.
But you can
Wow.
also sit on it like a kayak too.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's versatile
Okay.
in that way.
Oh, I thought it was like a form of skateboard.
No, that's you're thinking of wakeboarding.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
are you picturing Everis like on a surfboard just doing the doggy paddle trying to get to safety because she can't swim? Is that you,
I
Bill?
can swim
Yeah.
really well.
so I was gonna say if you can't swim, you shouldn't be paddleboarding out there. But
No, I can swim pretty damn well.
I didn't make it this year.
Surfing is such a vibe. I would be all for it if I could do it.
So if you didn't know,
I've
that is like
never
literally
surfed.
one of my bucket list things in life.
You know what, Eric? We're gonna do this together, okay?
Because my goal was this year, but for some strange odd reason, I'm trying to get like 20. I'm trying to lose about another 20 pounds. Because I'm at that point now where like I have decent balance again and stuff like that because, you know, I've lost a bunch of weight, but like I don't feel like I'm strong enough to do the kick up, you know, to get the board under me.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get another 20 down. But I'm seriously fighting like major plateau and I'm not moving. And I'm like, I don't know if it's age that's hitting me now or what, but I've been kind of like in this plateau for a year.
Are you okay? So I don't want to diverge into like exercise and dieting.
We'll
but
do the we'll do the condensed
I have a really
version.
quick. So have you been dieting for like a long time?
Oh yeah. So I started.
Like, do you count calories? Like, you know, your deficit and everything?
Yeah, for the most part, yes. Now, am I
Get out of
am I stringent on the number? No, but I am reasonably under. I'm literally in cutting calories. Like I'm not.
Okay, great.
Overeating.
Question number 2. Are you still progressing numbers in the gym?
See, that's what's interesting. My strength was going up. Well, it was going up, but I was eating less.
Okay.
Now I'm starting to feel it more. Like I'm not lifting as heavy, and I'm still eating less. So now I'm not lifting as heavy. Like I think I'm feeling it more.
Okay. Here's my advice for you right now.
Okay.
Go into maintenance calories. Go into maintenance calories for like 2 weeks. Hit back into your deficit again, because they call it like a refuel phase where you're refilling, like your body gets more energy.
Okay.
You can do more work,
Which I
and then
started
it's
doing.
almost like a boost.
Yeah, I
and
started
then-
creeping up. I started like I was
and
like,
then-
okay, refeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear
Then
you.
go back down into cutting again.
Okay. let's see what
Sometimes your
happens.
body just needs a break. Be like, it's under high stress. You're lifting weights and you're decreasing the amount of food that we can have. Sometimes you need to like go back and then start cutting again.
You heard it here,
Especially if
boys.
you-
You heard it here,
especially-
boys. Good friends, good games. Dr. Everis said I can go to McDonald's. Let's hit it.
It's time to go to Korean barbecue, Eric.
Let's
Yeah.
fuck shit up. Golden Corral, you're gonna fucking be scared today.
Can you sign my note that allows me to go to Taco Bell?
Maybe the
Can you
Taco
sign a
Bell will have me
note
lose weight. I'll
that-
just blast it out.
Yeah, can you also
Taco
sign
Bell
another
Bell.
note that says that I am not held responsible if I use a public washroom after eating said Taco Bell?
So like, yeah, I have three
Extreme.
I have like 3 bucket list things, right? So like my number 1 bucket list is to surf. I've always wanted to do this since I was a kid. I never could. I physically could just not push myself up. And I had poor balance. Number 2, I want to ride a motorcycle. Like I actually want to get a motorcycle and ride a motorcycle, and live life that way a little bit. And then number 3,
Do you have a motorcycle license?
no, I was going to do it this year. I might do it at Christmas.
Do the training.
Yeah, the whole course thing.
That's required in California, right?
Yeah, you go and do like a whole course thing. They'll give
Yeah.
like $300-$400. They give you the written test, you do the time on the bike, and then they give you your license right there. So that's like my thing. So I want to ride a motorcycle. I want to own a motorcycle. And then number 3 is I want to go learn how to snowboard after I learn how to surf.
Ooh, okay.
Eric, I am so with you right now. Like, okay, so I have a motorcyclist license.
Ooh.
FYI.
Okay.
I've always wanted to surf and I've always wanted to snowboard.
Sounds like something that you two could probably do.
I'm like in with you. I'm like
All right,
knee
so-
deep right now.
I'm going to drop the message. I'm going to be like, by next summer, I'm going to be like, yo, Everis, it's time. Pout. And I say, get down here. We're going to go do this. And then we're just going to.
we're thinking about moving next spring.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we were thinking about waiting it out for another year, and just going through this summer, like next summer, because it's like that's the optimal Pacific Northwest time.
Yeah.
But with all the fires and bullshit that have been going around lately, it's like not worth it to be up here anymore.
Right. You're over
It's
it. Right?
smoky, it's hazy, it's
So let's make it count. All right. So like my idea, we're going to do this and we're going to get a hold of you. And like Pow and I are going to be like, yo, it's time. Let's go. We're going to go do it right. We're going to go to like Malibu and we're going to get out there and try to do this. We're going to do it like California
I'm
California
so
style.
in.
We're going
I'm
to do it
so
California
in.
style. We're going to get out to Malibu. We're going to go like do this. All right.
I am
I'm gonna
100%
go
in.
I'm gonna go into maintenance mode. I'm gonna hit the buffet. We're gonna fuel up, and then we're gonna cut again.
take take advantage of it, because like you may find if my assumptions are correct, you may find that you have so much more energy and you're gonna want to push it out so much harder.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that happens for you because it's fun. It's really fun.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
When I
yeah,
was like on a groove,
take
I
advantage
loved
of those
it.
hella calories.
When I was on a groove, I loved it. Like weight was just like going up. Like I was just like cranking out plates and stuff. It was great. But okay, back to the actual point of this podcast.
And Starfield.
Okay, big game release this week, Starfield. Three of us are two of us are in. Three of us are in. Sorry, three of us are in on it.
Yes.
The other two have kind of. I think Morgan and Zenith said they kind of watch videos about it and stuff. They have some kind of opinions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to kind of go on the round table here, but we'll do the open-ended question right now. How are we feeling about it? How are we feeling? Feel free to jump in and...
Bethesda is a good game. That's it. That's all I really have for you.
Bethesda
It's
is a
nothing.
good game?
Well, Starfield. Sorry.
I heard that too.
I wasn't
My
gonna
vo-
say anything.
There's the title.
my-
Bethesda is a good game. Good job, Jill.
Yes.
No.
We
Bethesda
need
is a
to
good
have
game.
that.
Air quotes around the good.
That's a perfect title.
And
That's
can also see G instead of good, it could just be a GUD.
Mhm.
Yes.
Bethesda
Yeah,
is
air
a good
quotes.
game.
Bethesda is a good game.
It's
Yeah.
good
Can I do the
game.
SpongeBob
Okay.
meme?
Sorry,
game.
I blame the heat on that one. Jesus. Okay.
Now, it's fair if you don't have a
Starfield-
consensus on it yet, because, I mean, it's still early. Oh, he's
I'm
there.
10 hours in.
The
Hello.
cat.
Oh, hi.
He found something outside that's interesting.
Oh,
proceed.
but-
Proceed.
There's a bird there.
Bethesda's a good game. Tell
yes.
us more.
Starfield is a good Bethesda game. That's it. That's all I really have for you. Like, it's nothing really groundbreaking. Like it makes it seem like it was like the second coming of Bethesda, where it was like the biggest title release ever. But in reality, it's just another Bethesda RPG in space. That's all I got from it so far. That's really it. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. It's actually plays pretty well for me too. I've had only like a few glitches and one crash, and that's really it. So
it is a Bethesda game.
definitely, yes, it's
Yeah.
it still has like the issues, but like
I know that it actually has issues if you're playing it. If you're also streaming it, because I've known our buddy Dan DT3.
Mhm.
He had to completely remove the game capture source and re-add it after relaunching
Really?
the game in order for it to work again.
Really,
Oh,
Yeah.
I've had to do that with so many different games.
didn't
It's
have to
not
do that
just
with
that game.
Starfield.
It's
No.
not just that game. I've done it with
No.
so many different games. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I will say
Witcher was one of those actually.
Really?
It happened for me where every time I reloaded stream, I had to put the game under that source. It didn't just automatically pull it. It was like
Yeah.
came up as a separate game every time. It was weird.
Interesting.
So, okay, so Dill's kind of, and we'll obviously keep talking about it a little bit here and develop more thoughts as we
Yeah.
talk about it. Okay, so Morgan, you're not playing it directly right now, but you said you were watching some footage of it too, like Zenith.
I've actually not seen anything other than like one little short kind of funny video that he sent my way.
Gotcha.
He might be
well.
able to explain that.
Okay, let's go with
Yeah.
Zenith then. Zenith obviously said he saw some footage. So Zenith, what from the footage you've watched, what are you thinking?
So, from the looks of it, Bethesda wanted to paint a picture that this is a wide open game where you can just go anywhere within the satellite and just and fly to all these different kinds of planets. And the thing is, a lot of people that I've noticed that have been really into this is like, oh, kind of like No Man's Sky. But the thing is, though, No Man's Sky does a lot of what Starfield does, but actually delivers on those promises that people thought Bethesda would bring. Because I don't know how far you guys have played, but where Todd Howard in the presentation saying, "Hey, take a look at this moon. You could actually go there."
Mhm.
And you know what? He's actually right. You can, but unless if you fast travel to that planet, you actually cannot get there because it's just an image, a still image that you cannot physically go to because Bethesda didn't want to actually put in the legwork to make it physically possible to actually go there.
Yeah.
And even like the main town area, they said that it's supposed to be they said it's their biggest and liveliest town yet. Yes, it actually does look pretty neat. However, though, a lot of the town is actually broken up into different sub segments where you actually have to use fast travel using like a train station or a tram station just to be able to get around there.
Mhm.
And you don't exactly get to see how big in scale the city really is.
That's always been a thing, though. Like
Right.
even like Whiterun, same thing. You have to go into an instance to go into Whiterun.
Right, but I think what
same
he's
thing with like
getting
New
at-
Vegas.
Yeah, but what I think Zenith is getting at is that like Bethesda themselves touted this as this game of exploration. Like you're going to be able to go and explore these towns and these neighborhoods or these stations, whatever they're referring to them as, and see the sights and really kind of immerse yourself in this thing where it's not really the case. To get to some of these things, you have to hop on a train or catch a taxi, quote unquote, or whatever. I haven't ran into one yet, but I'm assuming they're in there somewhere. But I noticed this when to go to Zenith's thing here. I thought you could fly the ship down towards where the the location marker,
true.
the
I
location
thought that
marker
too.
is. Yeah. I thought you could fly the ship down, and I'm like going full blast, and I noticed that the planet wasn't getting any bigger.
Yeah.
And I was
It
like,
also, even if you go backwards, I was watching a video explaining this, and the image does not change.
No.
right. It doesn't change, but you have to go to the map, and then from there you can select the the point, and then travel and land at the point.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to another pod that was talking about this too. Is you cannot fly the ship down either across the city or wherever it may be, the colony. You have to land the ship.
It is the
Yeah.
equivalent of me adding like the Starfield cockpit graphic to my own stream page, and me telling people, "Yeah, we're actually going on an adventure, guys."
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we're not going anywhere.
I think
what
their
it
point
feels
with that was that you can land like once you've landed. It's not like I guess once you've landed it, then you can explore anywhere you want to. I think that was what they were getting at with the exploration, because aside
well,
from
yeah.
city states, if you do land your craft somewhere, which you can land pretty much anywhere on any planet, it's you're within walking distance of something. There's gonna be some random place to
Well,
go explore. There's
The thing is that
features
someone's
of the-
tried to explore an entire planet by walking on their own, and there's a limit. You can't go past a certain point too.
Right.
So
Yeah,
That's another
you can't
thing.
explore
but
the full
like,
You have to
planet.
think realistically here.
Yeah, of course. There's going to obviously be boundaries
know.
as to what you can explore in a planet or,
Yeah.
Can you imagine how big the game
Right.
would be?
A biome as they call it or whatever. Like, yeah, there would be limitations as to what you can do.
Well,
But
No Man's Sky still managed to accomplish that, right?
yeah, it is.
right. But that also took them several patches to get there, I believe, if I remember
Mhm.
right.
So all we got to do is wait 1, 2 to 3 years, and we will also be doing that in Starfield.
So for me, now keep in mind I probably have the least amount of time in it. I've only got about 4 or 5 hours into this, but and just for sake here, there might be minor spoilers in this thing. The only one that's really truly far in this is Everis. She's got pretty deep into it, but like there might be minor spoilers here, etc. We'll do our best to not divulge too much. So basically, you start off with all these different classes. What classes did you guys pick?
You mean the background, right?
Yeah,
The
the
background,
background.
yeah. I chose the found not found one for the mystery because
Okay.
it was quite mysterious that, and I was just like, you know what, I want to pick that to see what happens.
I picked
know.
the bouncer. I wanted to be the bouncer,
Okay.
the brawler.
Yeah.
I did Homesteader, I think.
Yeah.
And that was the one where it was like it heavily bent on like exploration and
Okay.
science traits and stuff.
And from what I can gather from these different, backgrounds that you pick, it feels like you would think it would have a strong effect on like how you progress in the story, right? But it seems like it's just, you either get boost or you
It
either
doesn't.
get boost
It
or
has.
nerfs.
Here's the thing. It has zero effect on anything.
That's what I was getting
Uh-huh.
at. Except for the
Yeah.
story that you're being told when you first start the game. Like, oh, you were a
Right.
bouncer at so-and-so.
Occasionally in dialogue, you can have special dialogue that you can
Oh, yeah.
say based on your background. Be like, oh, I'm used to living alone on a planet, and then you can say whatever you're going to say. Based
I
on
did choose the introvert
So it's like-
trait, so that does that. Those
Yeah.
plot options do appear, or something like introvert,
Right.
extrovert, whatever kind of things.
it gives you more dialogue options with
Yeah.
certain NPCs. But as far as gameplay is concerned, anybody can get any trait at
Yes.
on their character.
Yeah.
So if it just depends on which ones you start with.
It's
That's what it influences.
I don't know. This may just be me, but I guess my mild hot take on this here is from what I've experienced so far, and like I said, I'm barely getting into the first. What was the first station called? Where you meet the constellation,
The August,
New
New Horizons, I think it is, or something like that.
No,
Right?
it's
New Atlantis.
New
New-
Atlantis.
Yes,
yeah.
New
That's
Atlantis.
nice.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to leave New Atlantis. So like
Okay.
what I'm starting to kind of notice is like this game looks beautiful. It's definitely a very
does look good.
polished Bethesda look.
Yeah.
But again, this is kind of how I felt about Tears of the Kingdom too, but I'm still early on. But I was like, yes, this is a very polished Bethesda look, but it's still a Bethesda look. Like I
Yeah.
feel like they didn't deviate too much from their formula.
No.
Dare I say, they didn't deviate from their formula at all. It's Bethesda. You look at it,
It's
even
basically it's a standard Bethesda RPG in space.
right.
That's really
but
it.
even down to just like that, like when you talk to a character, the character looks you like blank right in the face, and then you have the thing options. Like,
I will
it's-
say the facial expressions in Starfield do actually look pretty decent. Like they're not just staring blankly at you with no expression. They do blink like that. That's quite nice. Because I don't like when I get stared at by a character. It's not very comfortable.
it feels flat to me. Everything kind of feels flat. I don't feel quite immersed in this story because there's just nothing really in the story yet that's got me really, deep into it. It's like I'm not involved in it as much as I thought I would be. Maybe after you leave the New Atlantis, maybe that changes, but like the story plot so far feels flat.
You do try to do quite a lot of exploring after you do leave New Atlantis.
Okay.
They do go to a lot of different planets, but then like, I'm wondering when I want to hit that point where like I start getting bored of doing that, because a lot of the planets do feel similar in terms of like what you have to do. On
Yes. See, and I feel like that is coming.
them. Yeah.
I'm actually quite curious. So Everis, what are your thoughts on like, are you noticing some of these things, or are you feeling like mentality a different way?
You're pretty deep too, so let it be told you're
Yeah.
about 40 hours into this thing. You had
42,
you had early
yeah.
access, so you had 40 plus hours into this thing. So
The game is what you make of it.
True.
That's how I'm starting to feel. And I've done a lot of just like, hey, let's go to this random planet and see what's up, and unlocking like, because you can actually get quite a lot of experience just by going to planets and like scanning all of the. This is probably further beyond anyone here, but Constellation is built on the idea that they are I guess they make sense of what space is. And so they're going out and they're trying to figure out like all of this new, all these new planets and what, what's habitable, what's not, la la. And so a lot of your XP can come from going to planets and scanning all the plants, scanning all the wildlife, and finding features about each planet and stuff. And if you get across all the boxes, you get a huge chunk of XP, boom, level. And so you can spend hours doing just that. And it's kind of neat because you find it's kind of a different experience every time you land, and like, oh wow, there's this crazy creature, or there's this, and so that's a lot of fun to just kind of diverge in that direction, right?
Yeah.
And you can go into like there's little icons on the planet that are pre-marked for you, because you can go on a planet and then find stuff on your own or whatever, but then there's pre-marked icons on the planet where you can go to, and each of those will have like a side mission or something unique and special about it. You're going to find something like that that you can go to as well. So it's not all just like going in blindly, I guess. So it's really what you make and how you approach the game that can make a big difference in
Yeah.
what you enjoy out of it.
Yeah, and I did actually see that when I was looking at all these like deep dives for the game. Is a lot of people are saying that, like, if even though it feels like we didn't quite get the game we were promised, there's still like plenty of things, as long as like you if you have like a certain mentality or mindset or certain goal, there's still plenty of the game offers that will delight you.
I definitely agree that I'm kind of bummed that we weren't able to go from space to planet.
Yeah.
And go through that whole process, but I kind of at the same time I get why they
what
didn't.
I do love, I will say,
because they made the game so vast.
What I did love about the space segment of it, I love the space dogfighting thing.
That is fun.
That was
Okay.
fantastic.
That is fun.
I'm not really a huge fan of it because it's quite clunky, honestly.
It is clunky. But
yeah, because like there's times where I'm trying to get to an enemy and shoot them, but they keep turning away from me, and I'm just like, "Can you just get in my line of fire, you little fucker?" And then everyone else is
That's
shooting them
how
behind.
space works.
Yeah.
It's 3D dimensional space. You don't have to be. You know what I mean? You have to think differently because
That's
you're
why
not in
the
a
controls
plane
on the vehicle
below the
are
atmosphere.
quite all over the place because it is space, as you said, so you can go anywhere in any direction.
I guess it also really depends on like the customization of your ship, because
yes, that's a whole beast in
does.
itself. Yeah.
You can
I've
actually
only customized it a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I've only just like started
Yeah,
customizing.
you probably
it,
would
really.
likely need like a smaller ship that's more mobile, because if you have like a giant ship you're trying to like pilot in space,
I've made it
you're
longer.
gonna have
try
difficulty.
try flying around a space destroyer,
Yeah.
a star destroyer.
The
you know,
Starship
trying to
Enterprise.
get these tiny little planet or
So
tiny little
that
ship.
I'm actually looking forward to. Like the idea of
Yeah.
building bigger ships and getting into bigger like fights with bigger ships and stuff. Like I'm hoping that kind of
Yeah.
stuff comes along because that's very intriguing to me.
Oh, I've already seen epic ships that have been built from the shipbuilder. I've seen the Planet Express ship from Futurama being built. I've seen the classic Halo ship being built. I've seen the Iron Man one.
That's kind of at my point right now where I'm trying to get money because I don't know if you realize this really like fast, but like
It's
money
expensive.
doesn't have very much value.
No,
So
it's
you're like,
expensive
oh
to do
wow,
that.
I've got 25,000 credits, and you look and it's like, wow, this is 500,000 credits. Like the ship is 500,000
Yeah.
credits. Like
Yeah, the
you're like,
economy.
fuck.
The economy in this is kind of
The
like
interest rate
I
is
found the
very
first.
high.
I found the first. What do they call it? The trade station. I think it's what it's called. The trading posts or whatever they call it, where you can get items. You know, it's like a little kiosk. But the thing that it's like, and I hate this in a lot of these games, and it's probably one of the things I despise about these games, is this game again has so many things you can collect, and you have no idea if it's of value or if it's trash.
There is a way to know that. There is a way to know that.
Okay, maybe
under
it'll
the
come.
description, so whenever you highlight over something and you look at what it is, under the description it says this item can be used for crafting or building.
Okay.
So if it doesn't say that, then it's just an item that you can
It's just
toss.
hoarding, just straight hoarding. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know if you watched the thing, but some people actually collect that as like a gag.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, there's a gal on the dev team where they said this in the what do you call it, the direct or whatever, but she collects every single peanut butter jelly sandwich that she finds. Now, peanut butter and jelly sandwich is an edible item, right? But for me,
Jelly.
you can go around and collect plants. Like I'm a plant
Yeah.
lover, and I go around and collect all the succulents and little potted plants and put it in my ship. So it's just like a little gimmick thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen someone's put all the potatoes on their ship. I've
Yes.
seen that video clip.
Do you know the description under the potato is boiled? You can boil them, you can mash them, and you can put them in a stew.
Lord of the
Nice.
Rings
Yes,
for Easter egg.
yeah, it is.
So yeah,
that
the
was a nice
space
little-
space dog fighting was fantastic. That kind of got me immersed in the whole thing. And then when I got to the planet, the New Atlantis, my expectations were curved. The combat, I think, I feel like in Dill's combat, the clunky combat in the air, I feel like the combat in the air is actually better than the combat on the ground. I felt some of the shooting and the control there was. Sorry about that. Technical issues aside, we'll go ahead and we'll get them worked out. I don't know what happened. Okay, so where were we? Dogfighting ships. Things feel flat.
And hey, NT
Combat in
Honey is
the-
now here.
Oh, so I wanted adding to the combat conversation here. You can actually unlock a skill in your skill tree that allows you to target specific parts on the ship to not completely destroy it. So in other words, if you turn their engines off, they can't move around, and you can board their ship
Okay.
and then take over their ship
Ooh.
and then steal it for yourself.
Ooh.
So I'm just letting you know that is an option. You don't have
Space
to just
pirates.
blow things up.
Space pirate.
Okay,
time.
cool.
Exactly. Space piracy is a thing. You can totally pull like a Han Solo type something or other, where
That-
you're
That basically means
Okay.
then the space One Piece is real.
Josh actually
Interesting.
accidentally took this happened to him. He actually took an item that was flagged. I don't remember why it was flagged, but it was flagged so that he couldn't go through security and land in any of the city states because they
Ooh.
scanned him.
Huh.
And when that happens,
contraband.
you literally have to pay your bounty. Like you have to pay your bounty off.
There's a way you can hide contrabando on your ship. I know
You
that
have-
I've seen the
You have
achievement.
to have a special thing for it.
Yeah.
Like you have a special part on your ship in order for you to do illegal activity and
Yeah.
smuggling. Smuggling. That
See,
is the word I
this
was
is the
looking
part
for.
of the game. This is the part of the game I want to get into. All right, I want to get the contraband. I want to be the Tony Montana. spreading the
Yes.
good stuff around the space. You know, the
It
booger
is a
sugar.
very
And
that
I want
is a thing that you can do.
What are you spreading around, Eric?
booger sugar.
Okay, no.
I forgot about
Do you not know what booger sugar is?
Nope.
No.
But I know what you're talking about now. Now that you've,
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
I just never
Yeah,
heard that
booger
term
sugar.
before.
Space booger sugar.
Oh my
Space
god.
booger, sugar, do.
Anyway,
Coming for
we
your
can't talk about that stuff here because it's inappropriate and does not fit the algorithm. Anyway, booger sugar.
Aw.
Just call it skooma.
Scuba diving?
Okay. The yayo.
Skooma.
Scooby?
Skooma,
Scooby Dooby Doo?
the Skyrim drug.
The Scooby Dog.
Yeah. And then in the
That
Star
Elder
Wars lore,
Scrolls
they
drug.
call it the spice. And then the Star
The
Wars
Faru-
lore, it's
the
spice. Let the
Faru
spice flow.
Dose drug?
Let the spice run.
Anyway, smuggling is
Yeah,
100%
okay.
a thing.
Okay, so yes, I want to get into these realms of this game. See, this is the kind of stuff that gets me excited for this thing. Off of this first shot, I will say the first shot, the way they did the presentation, because we all talked about it in here. We were like, yeah, it looks like Skyrim in space, but then they did this big old video thing that they did, and we're like, whoa, this game looks awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then we get the game in hand, and now we're kind of like, okay, it's Bethesda. The other thing
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it yet. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm just not seeing it yet, but the look. So like Skyrim has this image, right? Like this look to it. And this how do I put this? It's easier to explain with Fallout. So Fallout has this very distinctive look and image to it. It's 50s, nuclear Fallout. You got the 50s soundtrack to it. You've got the vintage looking Coke bottles and refrigerators and all that stuff, in this dystopian world in Fallout. I don't see any of that in this space world of Starfield. Like I could not distinguish Starfield from any other space game.
Yeah.
If I looked at him at first glance,
Yeah.
Do you think
which
it's because
kind of disappoints me.
because you're talking about the difference between like space fantasy and like sci-fi, right? Because sci-fi,
that's
you're going to
what's
see a lot of
interesting,
this. Everything's going to be kind of similar. In space fantasy, it can be whatever the fuck you want it to be, and I feel like we're within the realm of sci-fi.
Right.
Right.
So,
but
and
then
because it
could-
hasn't
but then-
happened yet, we're all have to be creative and we're all kind of thinking of what we think the future is going to be like. And they talked about this a little bit in the direct where it was like they're trying to find a middle ground between what's real, what we know,
What is this?
and
just
what's
real
Hollywood.
life? Is this just fantasy?
Is this Hollywood or what's real, what's Hollywood? And they actually
This is
they got
Queen
data
we're
from
talking.
NASA and all this stuff. So I didn't expect it to be something that was like mind-blowingly space fantasy.
That's what I felt like though that
I
they
don't
were
think
trying
I
to do. Though, like that's what
I
they
see
were
what you're
like
saying.
trying to show off in that direct. It felt like that they were trying to show a groundbreaking, revolutionary like exploration game, and it's not. It's a Bethesda game. That's it.
So I get what Everis is saying. I think what I'm trying to go, like a good example for what I'm trying to say is the Watch versus the Pit-Boy. The
Okay.
Watch is cool. The Watch looks cool, right? But when you break it down, it's a watch, right? It's nothing more
Yeah.
than a glorified Apple Watch if we're being realistic here. Whereas the
Pretty much.
Pit-Boy has this vintagey, like technical look to it. It's very distinct looking. Like the Pit-Boy looks awesome. It's got this distinct look to it, right? Another example I think I can give is the robot companion's name? Is it Visco or what's the robot's name?
I
Bill,
I
are you
can't
laughing
remember
over
his
Vasco?
name.
Vasco.
Yeah.
Vasco, thank you. Vasco, thank you. So we have this, Vasco that I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but the Vasco seems to be the Starfield equivalent of the Vault Boy. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the representation.
Vault Boy was
of the,
never.
the-
Vault Boy was a.
It was a
He was.
cartoon.
He was like an
It was-
ad. He was like an advertisement.
but he was
Yeah.
almost.
yes.
Like he was a
Yes,
persona,
but
but
he
he,
is
didn't exist. He didn't exist.
No,
he,
I think-
he wasn't like. What are you trying?
but
I guess
he's-
what are you
but
But it
trying
still
to
he
ask?
brings some
is-
charm to the game.
No, but what he is he's basically the mascot of the franchise. The Vault Boy is the mascot of the franchise. He's kind of like the character, like he is literally the Mickey Mouse of the Fallout world. He ties the universe together. Like,
I don't see Vasco as the mascot of the Constellation, though. Honestly, he's just
I
like
don't either.
maybe that's
Yeah.
yeah, but see, maybe that's what I'm getting at. Maybe
Yeah.
that's
Not
what's
to mention,
missing
you
out
actually
of something
don't-
like this.
You also don't see the watch that
No,
you're
you
given
don't
at the
actually.
very beginning of the
That's
game.
true.
I mean, they do
No.
have like it in like the UI, the bottom left corner, but
Yes.
that's just like an indication of what it would show you, and it's not nearly as cool as like obviously the Pip-Boy. Sorry, what is it called again?
I guess what I'm
Do you
getting
think
at.
because it's
I guess what I'm
do you think
getting
it's
at
because
is
it's too real? Like it's not far enough in the future for it to be cool?
Yeah.
I don't
Because we
know.
already have
I
a
don't
lot of
know.
this technology right now.
I
Because
think what I'm
apparently
getting at-
Vasco was based off of a robot that we currently have built already.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, Eric, I sent you your thing.
It's in general
Okay,
chat.
I will
Love
look
it.
in
You
a
love it.
second here.
I was already laughing at it earlier.
Okay. All right, I'll look at this in a second. I guess what I'm getting at is Bethesda went through all of this work to make this polished looking, which it's not polished. I'm running into all kind of glitches. My companion is literally miles behind me every time I walk, you know. But there's other glitches aside, you know, people going through the roofs and stuff. It's not, they went through out of their way to make this polished looking Bethesda game that looks beautiful. Yes, it looks beautiful, but I think in the process, they missed the charm. Fallout has this charm to it. It's got this look, it's got this feel, it has a charm. You know, there's a Vault Boy, there's the Nuka-Cola, the, you know, the puffs, all that stuff. It's a world, right? It's like this world that exists there that is interesting, where I think the constellation part of it just feels like it's another world in space, but it's not different from any of the other worlds in space. This may all change as I get deeper and deeper into it, but these are my first impressions of it. You look at, they do it in Fallout 4. You start Fallout 4 and it's like, oh, Nuka-Cola, you know, and he opens the fridge and he cracks one of those open. And then, you know, it's like, oh, sugar bombs, you know, and it creates this world and this image and like this lifestyle that your characters live in this world in Fallout. Constellation misses. The only thing I'm getting from Constellation is the people that seem to be running it have this weird like Scientologist like Jeff Bezos
guy
like
does.
Elon Musk.
One guy's the money.
Yeah. Right. And it's got
They-
this like
they
there's
have,
this community of like we're space explorers. We fund this all ourselves and like we're just rich assholes exploring space and stealing shit, you know.
Basically,
and
yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get it. So I'm kind of like, okay, maybe they worked really hard to make this big immersive game, but I think it's missing some of the character. I don't feel as attached to this environment.
It's missing charm. That's what it's missing. It's missing some kind of like charm that like the previous installations of games that they've made has, basically.
Right. So like this will be a perfect example. I have no idea how Bethesda is going to market this outside of the video game. Like with Fallout, they market the toys like crazy. You can buy Vault Boys, you can buy Pip Boys, you can buy all that stuff, plushies, all that stuff. I don't know how they're going to do that with this game. Because I don't feel or see any significant characters outside of the Vasco like that are significant to the game. Call me crazy. It's still early. I don't know. Am I wrong in thinking this, or like, do I need to dig deeper into this game and kind of feel it, or do I feel like my thoughts are kind of justified? I could be wrong.
I think
But-
I'm gonna wait until some more, maybe like until like more modifications for the game come out, because there's already quite a handful of mods that are on the list for that you can do. There's one that actually really improves the inventory management in the inventory, which is like quite nice. So I don't know, maybe mods might help it along the way too.
Yeah, the weirdest thing about it is that the game kind of is dependent on people fixing a lot of the things that the developers probably have no inclination to do.
Yeah.
Skyrim did too, though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you rarely come across somebody who played Skyrim who didn't add a mod
Oh yeah.
or something.
Right.
Like for example, like Sky UI is one that's like pretty universally used, and that improves upon the current.
There are already
UI
mods
of
fixing
the-
the performance part of it. Yeah, there's already mods
that
fixing the performance part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I get to like New Atlantis and it was raining, I went from 70 to 80 frames per second down to like 30 or 40. I was like, it was weird. It didn't kill the game for me in any way, shape, or form. But like, I guess, you know, chat, feel free to chime in too if you have any opinions on this. But like right now, I think it's just a game that needs to be played and explored a little bit more until we, you know, and get an overall consensus from it. But the first impressions for it for me feel a little flat. It's not bad, but it's not like, oh God, this is Bethesda's like, you know, second coming, you know.
It's
not a
like
Skyrim. I will say
material.
that. It's not a Skyrim. Yeah.
No.
It's I don't think this is in the realm of game of the year, but I could be wrong, but I think
I mean,
Zelda's the obvious out of
it.
that thing, but yeah. I think Zelda's the obvious thing out of game of the year right now, but I think Baldur's Gate is kind of the underdog in this thing that came out of nowhere.
I think so too.
I think Baldur's Gate is game of the year, honestly.
I think it's going to be in the contender for sure, and it could take it, honestly. I don't mind that if it does.
Yeah.
And to this point, I'm going to do Starfield a little bit more, but I might drop Starfield and go try Baldur's Gate just to get an actual consensus of what everyone's talking about, because I hear it's damn good.
I want to try Baldur's Gate, but at the same time, I'm not super into D&D, so I'm a complete noob when it comes to this stuff.
Well, maybe it might sway.
Well, you're going to find out pretty soon when we do that campaign.
That's what I want to do. I want to do this campaign with you guys so I can actually experience this game with you.
So there's something that I wanted to say that might be a bit of a segue, but also something that kind of like sets up Starfield for failure. Is there because of so you have to consider this. There's been a lot of these games that have been coming out in the last few years, and a lot of them have battle passes. A lot of them have microtransactions, DLC. Yes, you will get your base game for $70, but then if you want to get the full experience, you want to get all the expansions, you're going to be dropping like another $200, $300. Probably less, probably more, depending on who you're talking about. Blizzard. Sorry, something was in my throat.
Make sure you get it all out. Make sure you get it all out.
Sorry, what?
So, but with Baldur's Gate, they are one of the very first. What they just did with their release was so refreshing, and it kind of like harkened back to a golden age where games, when they were upon release, they were full games, they were finished, and there's no DLC, there's no microtransactions, and
I see what he's getting at here.
And they don't require, and basically it's when the game is finally ready, they deliver on their promises. And Baldur's Gate has set a really high standard where, like not only do they have like characters that you really care about, they spent a lot of work on like fleshing out the world. Yes, it's not this giant open world, and it's actually more like clustered and segmented. But every single bit of your environment, there are so many little things you can do, and every single choice completely rounds out your experience. And I get it that like this has probably set on like set in if like pretend you're a game developer and you're developing an RPG. A lot of people will be comparing your work to what the makers of Baldur's Gate is going to do. So I get that it's putting a lot of like the future RPG games in this weird territory where they have to like go along this like really high standard that Baldur's Gate has set, but you also have to like think about the fact that Baldur's Gate had no funding. They, based off the success of Larian Studios, which is the developer, they took their success of Divinity Original Sin 2 and used those profits to develop Baldur's Gate 3, which is now already in the top 10 of the most downloaded games on Steam. I think it's number 9 right now.
I think it
And,
maintained like a perfect, like massive, like peak playtime record as well.
Yeah.
Like it was like somewhere in the 800,000s.
Yeah, and they
I will
all did
say
it.
Bethesda is also standalone. It was only recently bought by Xbox.
Right.
Yeah.
The
So
Starfield
they
was
developed-
being worked on before the buyout.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have long been standalone for the last like 20 something years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
I'm just giving them that credit, but
Yeah, that's
proceed.
okay. But I think too.
So I guess. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So like to get back to like Starfield is a lot of people probably went into Starfield expecting because like something that Baldur's Gate and like Bethesda RPGs have in common is the ability to make choices, and like whether you want to free the people of the outpost or slaughter them all, that choice is yours. But Baldur's Gate also takes it to like an entirely different to a whole different level, because you guys mentioned that you picked when you were picking your classes, right?
Yeah.
Where and then you said that that your choice of which class or background you picked has no bearing on the actual like gameplay, whereas in Baldur's Gate, yes, that does, because your background
Right.
actually will give you the option. Well, it's not like forcing you down, but sometimes it will, depending on what you choose. Like if you pick like a really dark character, you will straight up just murder someone, and you will have no control over it. But that's also because of your choices that you made early on in the game. But
I
anyways,
think it's kind of a different style, because like Bethesda games were built on the idea that you can be whoever you want to be, despite being affiliated with neutral good, neutral evil, pure evil.
yes, yeah,
You
of
know what I
course.
mean? You
Like,
can
and
be
you can
whoever you
still-
want to be and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and you can still stray from that path with Baldur's Gate. where it's
Within
like, you know
reason,
what?
though, right?
Yeah, of course. Like everything is within reason, but at the same time, it still gives you so many different
Yeah,
options.
absolutely.
And
It definitely is a more immersifying experience.
Yeah.
If it pulls more onto the realistic side of character development, yeah.
Yeah. But the weird thing is, a lot of game devs chimed in about Baldur's Gate 3's success and the high standard that is now setting, saying that it's going to be disastrous for the RPG community, for RPGs of the future, because everyone is going to expect this really high standard, but a lot of players like like me and whatnot, well, us are like, well, how about instead of like complaining about Baldur's Gate 3's success, why don't you guys just, if you have like, I can understand if you're a smaller studio, but if you're like a bigger studio like the Bethesda or Blizzard, you guys have the manpower, you guys have the financial might. Why don't you just put in like we're not saying, hey, don't do microtransactions, or hey, don't do battle passes. Do whatever the fuck you need to do to earn your buck, but for God's sakes, put in some freaking effort. Like that's why people are not playing Diablo 4 anymore.
I
Yeah.
see zero
It's kind of
effort. Or, I'm
disturbing.
sorry. I see zero problems with raising the bar.
Yeah.
That's the
Exactly.
well, that's
Zero
what I was
problems
just
raising
getting
the bar.
at here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
It's
what a lot of these
interesting. Sorry, it's
Oh,
an
no.
interesting. I'm
Okay,
gonna just.
sorry.
What, did I lose you or no? I was waiting
No,
for
you
someone to
didn't.
finish.
I thought you
finish their
were, but I
thought.
looked at your camera and it's delayed, and I forgot
Oh,
that
okay.
it's delayed, and so I got
Before
confused.
your audio went again.
It's really bad, huh? Okay. So I'll go and I'll brain this right, because it is disturbing that these other people in the industry that they all are supposed to work in and really challenge each other to do good work are disturbed by the fact that a studio that I'm guessing is theoretically smaller than theirs managed to raise the bar and actually create a true labor of love that's a fantastic game. That disturbs me that these people are like, oh, well,
Oh yeah.
they made it harder on all of us. You know, how
Yeah.
dare they make a damn good game?
Do you know why? Do you know why? And this is a hunch, okay? My hunch is that we need to stop advertising games so far out.
I agree.
Oh yeah, of course.
We 100% need to stop. We need
yeah.
because what happens is that we all have this built up anticipation and built up expectation. And what we need to do is start releasing games with zero expectation. We had
Yeah, you
zero expectation for Baldur's Gate whatsoever. And thank God they pulled it off.
Right.
Yeah, you should
and
probably call
they-
out Bethesda on that as well.
They got successful. They did actually. Todd Howard, he actually like he felt bad. Like he was like, yeah, we might have released information about Elder Scrolls 6 too soon.
Yep, like 5
He
years
admitted
ago.
that in a interview. But yeah, 100% we need to just go in blind again, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that advertising games too early is benefiting anybody. In fact, it might even be making
No.
it worse.
It will set the
It's a
bar
it's
too
a
high for
hindrance.
people.
Yeah.
It's from a
And-
business standpoint, what it does though is it rushes the product, because now it's like, oh, we're talking about Elder Scrolls 6. Here it is, this 20-second, zoom in on a land that says Elder Scrolls 6 coming soon. Now the hype and expectations are up there. The reaction is, oh, the studio heads are like, or the money people are like, hey, the reaction's great. Let's crank this thing out and let's get it out there, right? Let's get paid. And then the product falters, which is a hindrance to the actual development of these things. But the problem I do have is this is Bethesda we're talking about, right? This is a studio. These are darlings of the industry. These guys have made some of the most beloved games ever made, right?
Mhm.
And call it a hot take, but I feel like they have failed to raise their own bar with Starfield.
I agree with that.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't delved
mean-
deep enough into it. Everis has delved deeper than I have. Maybe she can straight up tell me I'm wrong, and that's okay. But I feel
maybe
like
they can
all
pull
this
off a No
was
Man's.
a
I'm not saying you're right
Maybe.
or wrong, because I
Okay,
haven't.
that's fair.
I haven't gone. Me personally, I have not gone into the side missions enough for me to fall in love with what you're talking about. The
right.
world building,
The world and the lore.
Exactly. I've just been doing a lot of like, hey, let's look at this planet, let's get XP. So I think
Right.
that they progressed Bethesda in ways, but they didn't progress it in other ways that I wish they had. So they progressed the possibilities of exploration and being able to go places where you never went before, you know what I mean? You're not limited to one singular map. You're not limited to the region of, New Vegas. Or let's even go back further. Or let's just say we're not limited to Skyrim. You're limited to the universe essentially, and there are 1,000 whatever planets that they've blah blah blah. So
Right.
they made it vast, but they didn't make it. I don't know how to. It's really hard to explain unless you actually play it yourself.
I think I might know how to kind of add on to what you were saying, because
Go for it.
because you said that while it's a good game, but they didn't exactly expand the Bethesda RPG experience like we were hoping for, because
Yet.
think about
I'm gonna
when
say yet because
Just,
there's
like,
still
think
so much more to see.
is when
Yeah.
Fallout
Yeah.
New Vegas came out. Think about how groundbreaking that was. Think about when Skyrim came out. How many games out there were designed because they wanted to be the next Skyrim? Open world games became an actual mainstay within the gaming industry because of those releases. But do you really think there's going to be games inspired to be the next Starfield? I don't think so. I mean, not yet. But I
I
just
think it
don't.
also
I
depends
kind of-
on for me personally, I have a harder time immersing myself in sci-fi than I do in fantasy. And I think that the type of world building matters as well. I don't know how much you guys are interested in like space exploration and the future and all this stuff. I am head over heels in love with fantasy. That's my jam.
Yeah.
And so
Morgan?
because
Are we
because
talking
that
like medieval Dungeons Dragons type of fantasy or space fantasy?
ooh, that's a good question because I do love Star Wars.
So my counter argument, counter argument to what you're saying is like you have space fantasy, right? And sci-fi, and then you have what Fallout is. I would argue that Fallout and Starfield are both sci-fi. One is dystopian, and it's a dystopian science fiction. It's an alternate universe where, you know, this world has been demolished by a bomb. And then you have one where you're traveling in space. They're both sci-fi. They're just different types of sci-fi. But I'll go ahead and I'll let you continue.
I guess because it's already at a it's hard for me to judge this game because it's harder for me to immerse myself in this world because it's a lesser interest of some other worlds in other video games.
And that's fair. That is totally fair.
That makes it so challenging. Despite that, though, I'm still enjoying myself in this game more than I thought definitely more than I thought I would. So
I would love to hear what is Morgan's input on like what really captures you in regards to, because like we mentioned like world building, we mentioned like storytelling, the characters, exploration, but when it comes to the scope of Starfield, like what would matter to you, Morgan? Because I know that you don't have any experience playing these kinds of games.
So, like, what usually piques my interest when it comes to a game, or especially like RPGs in general, is I'm really drawn into like the story aspect first.
same.
But like I play games where you can do building, so like I don't know, for some reason I've always just like building stuff, so like that's something that would probably draw me in as well. And like I'm also really drawn into like backstories of characters and lore and stuff like that. So those are probably the things that would usually catch my interest first in basically any game, I think.
Okay. Thank you.
So the interesting thing, the reason I think Baldur's Gate works for Morgan, because from what I understand, we didn't get to talk about it, your playthrough of it, because we've been going through this, but it sounds like the Baldur's Gate thing interests you more because you create your own lore and your own background, basically, right? That's kind of like what you're getting at with it.
Yeah.
Which
is
I
like
think is a fresh take on a lot of it.
Is like what I'm noticing is that like a lot of RPGs, especially the more modern they are, like you are just a character. Like yes, you are the playable character, but you're just a character in the universe. Whereas well, especially like, you know, in games think Fallout, think Skyrim, like yes, you are like the Dragonborn and whatnot, and a lot of yes, okay, never mind. My point is completely invalid. But anyways, but what I find is really interesting about Baldur's Gate is that it feels like like the world develops around you and your suggestion and your choices, and you are like, and you become the most interesting character in the entire game, and that's what. And I saw that someone make that same argument, comparing Starfield to Baldur's Gate, because like even though like you get to play him as like you're the playable character in Starfield, but I just haven't quite seen like how much like the universe takes shape based on your actions. I might be wrong though, but unless if Everis wants to,
it's all too early.
Expand on that.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, because I am not saying by any means that Starfield is a bad game. It's not.
No. Yeah,
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
that I've experienced so far at all that
It's not a bad game.
yeah, there's nothing
It's
that
just-
I've experienced in this. Yeah, there's.
It's
Here's
on.
what it
Summer. We're
is.
cranky. Let us complain about something.
Here's what it is.
You know-
I think Bethesda made a good game. From what I'm gathering so far, okay, this is a good game. Do I think they made this groundbreaking, amazing thing that they made it seem like? I don't think we're there, at least yet. I haven't gotten that realm of it yet. But by no means do I think they made a bad game. I think for Bethesda, I feel like they completely hit par. If you don't know, that's a golf term where you're breaking even. I feel like they made a good game and they're shooting par right now. They can make improvements, they can make changes and stuff like that to make it bigger and better, then so be it. But like, I think they made a good game. I just don't think they made an amazing game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If that makes
I
sense.
realize.
Again,
Yeah.
this is all early and my opinions can change, just like Zelda. I was totally not
true.
amazed by Tears of the Kingdom at all in the beginning. And I completely ringed it around once I got into it. Nintendo made
Yeah.
an amazing game.
The next time I pull up the game, I'm definitely going to be like throwing myself into some story stuff because I think I've burnt myself
Right.
on exploration.
Yeah, that's actually
go-
like
And
an
that's what I
interesting-
think.
Cousin.
Yeah, I think that's actually what
sorry.
makes it interesting about us having these kind of like raw conversations is like we kind of like challenge each other on like certain points. Is like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try and like go at this game with a different perspective, try and look into this and try and see if my opinion differs from what you guys are saying. And I've actually noticed this not just for like I noticed this for like when we were playing Zelda and Tears of the Kingdom, where it's like, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. Hey, you should go over here and check this out. And then you're just like, oh, this is actually fun. So I really think these kinds of like conversations are very constructive. But Dill, I want to hear what you have to say.
Huh? What?
Oh, you were chuckling. What do you got to say? Share it with the class. Don't be shy.
Well, I'm only 10 hours into the game. So I don't know what the main story and lore will be, or where like Starfield will go in terms of its ending. I tried doing exploration for a little bit. I tried doing these like constellation missions, like one of them. Where you have to like find a certain species of alien basically by scanning the planet, and I could not figure out which planet it was that I had to go to. And so I got bored of that and just focused on the main quest stuff. So I might have to try and see if I can try that again, but I might have to like look, I don't know, see what I can find. That's really it. I'd say like the exploration thing was kind of like you have to explore obviously, but then like I couldn't find anything, so I kind of just got bored and moved on to like the main story stuff.
You have to do scanner mode. Do you know scanner mode?
Yeah, you have to press F
Yeah.
when you're on the ground.
If you look in the distance, you can see different shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And the circle ones are like planet features, like what is that called? Like a asteroid, or maybe it's like I can't remember what they're called. I don't know, volcanic activity, whatever. And then you have like diamond. I want to say it's a diamond shape. And those are like outposts, abandoned buildings, sometimes a cave.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes they're further off than you want them to be. It's like 1,000 meters. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that you can build outposts as well on planets.
Yeah.
You can actually build all like old settlements and stuff like that, which is interesting.
Yes.
But every time I think about that, I immediately get a flashback to Preston from Fallout 4, like completely coming at me, just going, "Have you heard about this power post here?" And I'm just like, "No, fuck off. No,
Oh
stop
my
it.
God.
Go away."
Another settlement needs your help.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can farm materials that way. So if you're like, the further the game you get, the more you realize you need to start building up.
Oh, Everis, did you
Materials.
choose the adoring fan trait as well?
I wish I did.
I did.
I wish
For the
I
free crew
did.
member.
I wish I did now.
He's quite interesting, but also annoying.
I believe it. I think that's the point, right?
Yeah. He's a free crew member though, so you don't have to pay for it. Pay his like income,
Oh gosh.
so it's just cheap.
How much though?
Yeah.
For what?
How much do you have to pay?
For the door and fan, 0.
Oh, okay.
There was someone who came up to me when I was on a New Atlantis who like was looking to go on the crew, but at that point I was only just starting the game, so I only had like 2,000 credits. She was charging like 7,500 credits, and I was just like,
For
no,
what, per day or like just to like board the ship.
I think I don't know. Didn't have the money, so I was just like, sorry, maybe another time.
And during fan would have been fun. I don't know. I should have done it.
It's interesting. Also, I will say too, the combat. Dogfighting is quite complicated, but like fighting on the ground is pretty simple, and I'm not having any difficulty with any certain enemy. Like even at like a level 14 or 15 enemy, I'm killing pretty easily. So I don't know. I'm not finding the combat too hard on the planet's surface. Just the dogfighting.
I've seen people just rush into combat.
I love the
with a
dogfighting.
knife.
I thought that was that wrangled me in. I'm like, oh, this dogfighting is awesome. And then
the dogfighting is a challenge, but then like the on planet combat is just like easy at the moment. I also got this new gun though, which does poison damage, so that probably does help.
Yeah, that would make things significantly easier. For you.
That's why I said that it's like the game is what you make of it. So like maybe if you're like, oh, it's too easy, like put down your gun and like start doing like monk style fighting, like
out of every conflict.
like fists and
I got too
or
many
like
guns to use.
melee or something like that.
I got too many. I got the tray which allows me to get like extra damage on ballistic weapons, so I can't do that.
Still, just become Space
I know,
Genji.
that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
So
if I may,
I guess to wind down here. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
The only thing that I was going to say is that Everis said something and it reminded me of this, and I recall that Zenith also asked me. I would also say that like exploration would factor into it as... Yeah, I don't know. That was a hard word for some reason.
Exploration.
I would say that would
exploring the
factor...
Demon Snatch?
Yeah.
No!
That's what it was called. The Demon Snatch Juice. There we go. That's the title for the podcast, everyone. Demon Snatch Juice, everyone.
No. Don't let
Sponsored by
Jill
GG
distract
Subs.
you. It's Bethesda is
no.
good game.
Bethesda is good
Anyways,
game.
continue, Morgan.
It's a working
It's a good
title,
game.
everyone.
But yeah,
Sorry,
I would
Max.
say that the exploration factors into it as well, because I'm really curious. I like to explore areas that I haven't actually seen before, so I'll actually end up doing that in a lot of open world games and RPGs. I'll just kind of like explore everywhere, see where everything leads and
That's
whatnot.
where Bethesda excels.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what they do well.
This may be a hot take, and I may get a lot of
I love
anger
hot
in the
takes.
chat. I've already said it, but nobody said anything about it. It has always been... Now, I haven't played Oblivion. I heard Oblivion is amazing for story content. Okay? But for Skyrim and for a lot of the other Bethesda games, the story falls short than a lot of these other RPGs that I have played. It's always fallen short. It's either A, too short, or does not hold my interest. What does hold my interest is the exploration and finding little random things that you wouldn't expect.
Everis, I will say that I agree with you.
Thank
And
you.
it's why I struggled to keep my interest when playing these games.
I said that once in stream one day, and
Yeah.
everyone got pissed off.
the
I was
revolt
like, no, I'm
happened.
sorry. Witcher story is way better than Skyrim story.
No, I agree with that. I 100% agree with Witcher story is better than Skyrim story. I barely
Yeah.
remember the
Well,
story
to
of
be
Skyrim.
fair too, Witcher has a whole slew of source material to work
Yeah.
from. So
Fair.
you know they
With
kind
the
of have an advantage of there.
I think
Yeah.
with
Let me-
Bethesda, like, if you want to play a good story game, you'd play Fallout 3, New Vegas, and Oblivion. If you want to play a good exploration game, you'd play Skyrim, and you'd probably play Fallout 4.
How about we drop
Fallout
Witcher
4,
from...
I'll be honest with you. Fallout 4 falls short. I think Fallout 4 falls short compared to like what New Vegas and stuff did.
Yeah.
New Vegas is the peak
Fallout
of
4
the
is not perfect.
Fallout
Yeah.
series, yeah.
Fallout 4 is not perfect. Skyrim, I didn't play all of Skyrim, but from what I played from Skyrim, it was great. I didn't touch Oblivion.
Yeah, so the exploration was
Again,
good.
someone
but,
said
like,
in
the
the
story,
chat room, in the chat
I don't
here,
remember it.
Fallout 4 was great. Fallout 4 is good. Is it great? No, but it's good. And I think it's important every studio that goes to make a game tries to do their best to make a great game. But there should be no shame in making a good game either.
No.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I can
what I do have a
understand
problem with is if you yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I can understand like if they shoot for greatness but they just come up short, it's fine. It's just what I have a problem with is when you have all the makings, all the talent, all the resources to make a great game, and they just settle for making a good game because they just want to make a quick buck. But I don't know. But even though like this Bethesda, like Starfield is not. Damn it, Dill. Even though like Starfield isn't quite exactly like the industry defining RPG that Skyrim was back in the day, I still feel that there are like other examples that are more flagrant that we probably need to have like a talk about because I kind of like hinted at it like during this podcast today, but I have a big gripe against what Blizzard has done to the Diablo franchise and what they're doing to like probably their other titles. But
Milking them dry.
But Bethesda is, like still does some good things. And definitely like as far as like they inspired for greatness. It's just it probably wasn't as great as we thought it'd be, but that is a-okay because at the end of the day, there's lots for us to do, and there's probably lots that can change our mind. But yeah, how you put it is best.
Okay. It's and there's still plenty to see. We still got plenty of time with this game.
You
True,
guys
they'll
have
have
just
a lot.
barely dipped your toenails in the game.
Well,
And that's
give
what
me
I'm saying.
another,
This is
like,
going to probably
10, 20 hours. I'll probably be all right.
Yeah, and you know, and I think that's one of the like Zenith said, I love that this is like a group of people that will continue to challenge each other and our taste and what we think is good versus what we don't think is good, and give us a chance to be like, okay, let me go give it a shot. You know, I can tell Everis really, really enjoys this game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing what Everis is seeing, so.
Yeah. And now I
Everis
want to
is like,
see
hey,
what Everis sees.
Yes, we
Thank
need
you.
to put the Everest goggles on here and have
Give
a
me
look
your
at
eyes.
this is
They're
what
very
happened with
pretty.
Zelda.
Yes.
This is what happened with Zelda. I was like, I'm not seeing the difference between this and Breath of the Wild. And then Zenith's like, just keep going. And now I'm hooked on Tears of the Kingdom. I'm hooked on Tears of the Kingdom. Everis is really into this game. Everis is really into this game. I'm just not seeing what she sees yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But this game is also sounds like this game is made for someone like Everis. This is what Everis likes to do in these games. This is what she likes. Bethesda is here for Everis.
That's why I brought up like you make of what the game like you make
right.
You enjoy what you make of yourself in the game. So if you enjoy this exploration, the game is there for you. You know, if you like dogfighting, go dogfight. You know, if you like to, you know, smuggle, go smuggle.
If you like building big penis ships,
game is what you make of it. No.
Starfield is the paddleboard of games. Okay. We did not get into any of the SAG. We didn't get into any of the SAG after stuff today, or the Nintendo moving on from Tears of the Kingdom. We'll try and touch on that in the next episode. We had a lot of Starfield talk today.
Yeah. Before you go, I do want you to see that image I made.
Yes, you need to see it now.
Yes, let me see this image here. I saw it and I was like, what the hell is this? But let me see here. All it says is, hun, it's a goose.
Yes.
Honk.
Huh, 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 huh.
Oh.
All right,
Oh.
fine. Hold on, give me a second here. Let- Give me a second here. Hold on a second, guys. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Bear with me one moment here. So yeah, Bethesda, good game. Is it great?
But that's
Remains to be seen.
good game.
Bethesda is a
game.
good game.
Good game.
Bethesda's
It's a
good game.
good game.
Good, that's a good
Oh my
game.
gosh. Pikmin Field.
The Pikmin hype is
Space.
real.
I love it.
Pikmin 4
What the
beginning
hell?
of the year.
There we go.
There you go. That's
This
better.
is all you, Zenith.
10 out of 10.
That's
10 out
funny.
of
I
10.
never want to see your face cam again.
Yeah, that's the replacement.
You know, I like Eric's
You're-
face.
Yeah, that's a great.
Me too.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Aw.
Yeah.
Eric, you have a very nice face.
Oh, thank you. I don't think so every now and then, but I'm like, okay, I can dig it. You have a lovely farmer outfit, Zenith.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
have the overalls right here.
That is. What?
Is he a human?
Um.
I
No,
can't
he's
tell if
goose.
he's like elf or something.
This
I
was
don't
from.
know.
It's from
I
Skyrim,
think this
clearly,
was from
but
Skyrim. It is
Skyrim.
from
Yeah,
Skyrim.
this is from Skyrim.
But-
Yeah.
is he an
Skyrim
elf?
farmer.
Is he a human? Is he a? I can't tell based on his
Do
bicep
elves
size.
farm?
So, for those of you that are here saying Eric has a lovely face or whatever, Pow actually took this picture of me.
Oh,
So,
I like it.
where is it
Yeah.
taken?
this is around. There's like the fancy mall around the corner from my house here, and they have like a what do they call it? Like a park area in the middle of all the stores, and they have like a water fountain and stuff there. You can chill. They got ducks,
Nice.
geese, ice cream, the whole shebang. I want ice cream. Ever's brought up ice cream. Now I want ice cream.
Was
I
this an
brought up ice cream.
accidental? Was this an accidental picture? Or was this like a intentional, like photo shoot type thing?
Well, I went to go take Pow's. I went to take her LinkedIn photos. So we took her LinkedIn photos because she was getting ready to start looking for a job out of school. So we went and took her LinkedIn photos, and then she wanted to play with the camera. So I was like, here you go, have fun. And then she took this picture of me. So
Looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
she did a
glad
good
that
job.
the goose didn't murder you when she took that picture. Because
no, the goose was nice.
Yeah,
I didn't
the
have,
goose
I
was a
out of
moose
all the
there.
times I've looked at
That's
this
why you
picture,
weren't
I
talking,
never noticed a
Zen.
goose.
That's
Yep.
why you weren't talking. You were just making memes.
Yeah.
Probably a nerd, but he said Nord. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm like, what is it, sleeper nerd?
Sleeper nerd.
Okay, that is it for this week's. That is it for this week's episode. We will be back on the, what is it, 14th, right?
20 something.
20.
23rd?
20 something.
23rd.
23rd sounds right.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll be back 2 weeks from now. We'll probably have more Starfield talk for you. We're getting close to Spider-Man time, so Spider-Man's gonna be coming up on the radar soon.
I'll have quite a lot of talk probably about Starfield, Pokemon
Super
DLC,
Mario Wonder.
and Liza P.
Yes, Super Mario Wonder is coming too.
That is too.
No, just stay. No, stay. I just got here. We have to go
gotta
live life. We have to
go.
go touch grass.
all right, guys, we got to think. What have
Everest
what have
gotta
you
go
played
do
in the
that
last
paddle
like 10
walking
minutes?
thing, whatever.
Paddle
Wait, we
walk.
have to what?
Paddle,
Yeah,
whatever.
we all have to talk about paddleboarding now for the next 2
paddle
hours.
forward. That's it.
Oh, well, I didn't tell you
Oh,
about the
man.
next show. Good friends go paddleboarding.
Yay!
It's hosted
I
by
get you.
Everest.
Like, how about like I get like a setup, like a away from computer setup, and just have like like my feed coming from the
Yeah.
paddleboard.
Oh, we're good.
Well, now we
Well,
have all
paddleboarding
kinds of
living
things
room.
that we got to do here. Good friends, good boards. Now we got a whole thing that we
Yeah.
got to do here. Everest and I and Pal have to go to Malibu and learn how to surf. I got to learn how to paddleboard. Dill's going to London.
Yeah,
Bring me back a British sticker of some sort.
I'll bring you the queen.
And
The
yeah?
queen in
Okay.
person.
No, in a coffin.
that would be kind of. There is no queen in person right now.
Yeah.
That's right. Not anymore.
'Cause
Yeah.
Don't bring me a queen, please.
The little queen.
But
right
other than
there.
that, yeah, we will be back soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Obviously, if you are, as always, you can hit ! social media. You can get the Instagram, the Twitter, the X, whatever the hell it's called now, TikTok, all that good stuff. By the time this episode goes live, last episode 25, will be up on YouTube. So once you get this one, you can get the last video episode up on YouTube. We got some. I'm working on clips. They're in my backlog of things to do. We're getting
They're
them out
all
there.
there
We're gonna
waiting to be.
They're all there. We're pumping them out. Good friends, good game, Bethesda.
Thanks, Dill.
Bethesda is a good game.
You're welcome.
Bethesda
I mean,
is a good game.
This is a
I'm
good
still
game.
saying that the demon stature Twilight juice is definitely still
No.
there. It's still there. It's an option.
No. No.
Baldur's Gate 3, a Game of Socks edition.
We are going to work on the Baldur's Gate 3 campaign thing. We all have this game, right? Except me.
I
don't
haven't
have
bought it yet
Yes.
either.
Okay.
I'll probably wait
I'm
for the
hoping
next
the sale
sale
comes
and
up
pick it
soon.
up.
I just depleted
I'm
my
waiting for the sale.
savings.
Yeah.
I depleted my savings on a new car.
I'm saving for London.
How's it feel,
so
though?
I'm trying not to spend too much.
How does it feel? How does
It's
it
late
new
to
car?
be
Yeah.
asking this question, isn't it, Eric?
It's the car
I
shiny.
know. Okay.
Wait, did
Okay,
Everis turn
okay.
40? Are you asking her how she feels?
I'm turning 30 next
I didn't
year,
say
bro.
Ooh.
30
You don't look
next
it. There you
year.
go.
I'll be the last
No,
one to turn
I
30 here, won't
don't.
I?
Yeah.
I look like a baby.
You're not a day over 25, girl. You're not a day over 25, girl.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll accept it and hold it and cherish it forever.
Keep that you.
Put it in a
I'll
box.
just keep telling people I
Keep
am
it.
25. How long can I
25
convince?
plus
I tried
How long
that,
can
and
I
then eventually it
convince them?
stopped. No one believed me anymore when I did that. Like they're like, no,
Really?
stop. Yeah, no. I got
wanna
to.
try that
I
one of these
pulled
days.
off the. I pulled off the 27, 28. I pulled that off for about up until 35, and then they stopped believing me. So
Yeah,
I got
how
about
many
7
birthdays
years
is
out
this?
of it.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I have really good genes. Neither of my parents look their ages either, so
That's good.
it is great.
You will forever look like a young Haley Williams. There you go.
with blonde hair.
Yeah.
I want to start telling
All right, guys.
people
We
I'm
will see you all
25.
very, very soon. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been good friends, good games. And
Blah,
we'll
blah, blah.
catch you all very
Good
soon.
frigging
Bye.
friends.